Alright, so when you guys last left off, you'd gotten through that initial performance. Um, and in the interim, as you guys have uh, started to look over, you'd checked out the Thunder there. Myron? What was his name? I think it was something like that. You'd started looking over his corpse to determine what might have been involved. And you guys had some suspicions. There was even some suspicions cast about on some of the others. But you guys are sort of starting to think that maybe that, you know, I think what you guys were thinking was that Mistress Starklight or whatever her name was might have been involved in it. I mean, it didn't seem like, or Dusklight, that was her name, would be involved, that she might be trying to sabotage the circus since just about everybody important had come from that particular sideshow, and none of the people involved in the show currently um, really seems to be good candidates for it. Everybody pretty much adored or at least respected Myron, and even though he butted heads with a few of the performers, clearly, uh, like Axel wanting to do his thing, or Mordain always wanting to be the center of attention, and him, not necessarily was giving in to her. It was more about strong personalities than any true animosity, which is kind of getting you guys wondering whether or not, that Mistress Dusklight somehow followed you guys to this place to see if she can't ruin your guys's. And you guys knew that she, at least on the surface, was sort of a cruel master, so to speak, a cruel mistress. But now you guys are setting about getting ready to really think about, if you could determine what's going on, find out anything else involved in this, and look for, possible more clues or, you know, indicators that might determine, how this all came about. I gave you, I believe last time I gave you guys, and I'll reshare it because I put you guys out here on the outside, the area around the circus map, and that's where you guys would have placed. But I want to intercede real quick first because the professor, who has been around a while, he's got one of the things he's got like one of those little kind of sideshow type of things. A lot of times these are, for pretties they put on display, but he is doing something a little more informational. But he's the one who kind of stepped in and asked you guys to go. His voice is really raspy, and he can't really talk loud. So there was a certain, expectation that since you guys had come from the other one, and that he thought, for now to step in. But he actually comes up to you after you guys have examined the course, before you start hunting around, and kind of rasp out to you. And he says, "Well, I thought you guys handled that fairly well, and I suppose it shouldn't be much of a surprise because Thunder, our beloved and now deceased Myron, actually indicated to me, and I don't know if it's something, like if he had a foretelling or it's just insightful or as coincidence, but he had said to me a few weeks ago as we were approaching Aberton that if anything should happen to him, he wanted you specific folk to sort of be the ones in charge, because he thought if anyone could see the circus prosper even without him, and he certainly wanted to see it continue. He didn't want anything, to ruin what he had started. That his legacy could go on even without him. Um, he thought it would be you folk. Now, the ones, the one thing that, the one aspect of this that I didn't see, that I couldn't indicate before because he was busy trying to help others. One of the members named in taking over it was Char here, so I don't know how much you guys know him. I know he came from
Cheerio, chaps. You handled that quite well.
and he's one of the ones along with Nadia, Hundar, and Ash Tantalus that he thought, and of course Balto, would thought that would be in good hands of. So um, I know
Clay
you.
is so enraged that his name wasn't said that he goes, "Well, I quit," and he walks
Yeah.
away.
After all I did up on the high wire. Um, yeah, he's like, and I know you want to look around because it seems like there's suspicious circumstances involved in here. But uh, let's kind of reconvene and talk about this. There are things we're going to need to do to make sure that our next performance and our once a week performance can be successful. So we'll have to make plans for that. But for now, carry on, and I hope you can determine, who the the dastardly person is who did this to poor Byron.
And I wait. Do we have a sense motive in this game?
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
It's part of perception. Perception kind of. I think if you look at the perception skill, it'll actually even tell you that
Okay.
sense motive is in there.
Char side eyes him to see if yeah, he definitely believes him. He definitely yeah, that
Or
guy's
you
getting
really
something.
really are suspicious of him.
Yeah, suspicious of.
Yeah, I don't know about that guy. Why didn't he name me as one of the guys to take care of this in the first night?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
He trusted that
he
Clay guy.
yeah, he thought that he could get rid of the will, but the will, but the things move too fast.
Yeah, so clear. Obviously this is something you're gonna have to keep in mind. You don't necessarily trust them much, but hopefully the others. But let's face it, there was some rumor going around that Clay was chewing through ropes and eating netting. So I should
I
have
mean,
let.
I'd believe it.
Yeah, Charlie. Okay. I think he knows we're on to him. Look at him slink off. I think that's just a cover for his real nefarious reasons for quitting or trying to get away from us. Hunt that guy down. Poor Clay. Put on a good show, and now he's locked in the bear cage with
You guys think you can do this without me? I am this circus whose name I can't remember.
Wayward Wonders.
Wayward Wonders, thank you.
So that kind of leaves you guys to you know trying to figure out what's going on. Now, there's a bit of a you could I think you can kind of see it down there. There's a bit of a sort of a somber pall that's fallen over the entire camp
A
as
third Paul?
yeah, there's just so many of them in this. This one's somber though, as opposed to being dwarven or elven. Uh, and so people are, kind of milling about, not entirely, you know, feeling great about the situation. And that's the kind of thing that you may have to address at some point. And you can see they're kind of hanging out by the one. There's a big like camp fire pit type of thing that people kind of get around, tell stories, and talk about how today's performances went. But it's again a little bit more on the sad side with everybody whispering about what happened to poor Myron. And except for the few that kind of hung around with you guys, some of the more important personalities, not necessarily the same. Who's running around in circles? Um, that would be Ash. There's not the same. Not everybody knows, that there's suspicious circumstances, and some of them might think that just that was his time. But maybe we should consult the oracle. Uh, but yeah, other than that, there's certainly obviously things you guys could could do to try to figure out if there's more, more, kind of clues to follow up on. See if you can find out if there's anything. You certainly knew there was some sabotage during the show.
Yeah.
And you're not quite entirely sure about some of the, the ruffians and the drunkards, were they, who they seem to be, or, you know, could they have also been, hired
Are
and
any of them
stuff.
still alive?
You had that one thrown in. He did a little bit of an interview. Remember, he's going to be taken
Oh
to
yeah, that's
town.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Um, but I think he was in a bad shape, so you were going to have to wait till like the next day to really get a chance to grill him about if he had, was he just an idiot, or was there, more to his things. But I mean, there's, you know, I mean, clearly you could go down. For that matter, you could go check out Myron's wagon, the ringmaster wagon there. That that maybe Char's going to try to move into, since he seems to be. Uh,
Yeah.
he's.
So I'm new in town. What are we doing?
I'm taking over here, by the way, just in case you were wondering. But other than that, you could interview people, see if there's any other witnesses or whatever, or you could explore around, or you could just wait till the next day and start planning for the next one. So you guys kind of have free reign here to figure out what you want to do. It's close to after that same night, so it seems like if there's anything to be tracked or anything to be learned, or any suspects still on site, more likely tonight than after the next morning. But it's sort of up to you guys how you want to proceed from here.
I'm gonna go and
Just realized Clay's was still on.
Oh no! Yeah, he walked off.
I'm gonna go examine around the his trailer and see if there's anything I can find, facts, anything suspicious about it.
I'll wander into the crowd and start asking them about these fiends, just random people, if they know who these. If anyone recognizes them or know where they're from. That was my action.
I mean, like, that's a valid thing if that's what you want to do. It's are you guys splitting up at this stage and just drifting about on your own, and each of you guys trying to do your own thing? Or does any of you guys want to stay together, or what's the goal here as you could go look at around?
I'm trying to get medical attention.
Oh yeah, you need help?
Well, we had this guy who was a healer, but he stomped off after he learned.
No, I have a heal spell. Do you want me to use a heal spell on you?
I have poison coursing through my veins.
Oh, you're poisoned? Oh,
I
that's
was
a bad one.
poisoned.
Oh, that guy had anti-venom and
It
stuff.
hurts. It hurts when I breathe. I don't know what's going on.
I'll use one of my spells to heal him, if that's okay. Should I use the AoE, or should I should probably...
You could also
1d8
treat.
plus
You
8.
guys work. You could do treat wounds if you really wanted to.
I don't have medical, so...
Yeah, so
I-
that would rely.
Do I
on,
get a nurse to you? Do I like a nurse to you, Brett?
Yes.
And do treat.
This is how a lot of them look like after COVID and dealing with all of that, and people coming in and saying the vaccination.
God, speaking of my friend's ex, they just broke up recently. Robin, his kind of estranged father is an anti-vax person, and he just died of COVID yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty grim.
which is pretty rough to hear.
Yeah.
I was like, I should check in with Robin, see how he's doing, and then like, that's what I hear.
That's harsh.
Fuck, dude.
So do you want to let him try to be healed with somebody's healer's kit and save that, or do you just want to show off right away and throw down a heal spell and say, I can take care of that?
I'll flourish and do a heal spell.
All right.
I'll watch this.
I thought you were
going
to do the
check to do a flip, and then touch him
can
with the tip of my baton
Yeah.
to heal him.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, acrobatics. Oh, that's not as good as I thought it would be.
Also, don't forget your hero.
Oh, because wait, no, is studded leather? Does that give me a negative on checks?
What's your strength?
My strength is 10, but I have acrobatics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to get to 12, I think, even for studded leather to get rid of the skill check penalties.
So I want to wear armor that doesn't do that. What armor would I have to
light
wear?
armor.
It is light armor.
I think you probably have to go down to leather.
Yeah, I'll do that real
Just
quick.
unequip that one for now.
Yeah.
And just total.
I get naked and I do a flip.
He's rather
skills.
flamboyant.
There we go, +6. That's it.
Did everybody give themselves their... Hey, that was pretty good. Maybe not as good as that clay guy.
I touch him with the tip of my baton.
But I assume you're using the 2 action one, so you can get the full +8 bonus. Okay.
Yeah. Ta-da! It worked pretty well.
It did work pretty well. Does Nye want to heal Ripper there a little bit?
There's no question behind that. Yes.
Okay, so you have a 2-action heal animal spell that you could use, and use up that.
Yes,
That'll
I'll use
definitely
that.
get her there, or him there. You just put that D8 +8 on, or do you want me to throw it on him?
Just throw it on him.
Okay.
Okay.
You'll have to get 10 minutes of refocusing if you want to get that power back, though.
That's fine.
Yeah, I can refocus, but not that stuff too. I don't know how to do that. But Char wants to tell Hunter it's okay. Every orc needs scars. So we didn't kill them all the way.
It'll be good for the
I
show.
left a few on there for you to add to your fierceness.
It's good
There's
for
no
the show.
scars. There's no scars. I got bitten by a snake. They're 2 little.
No, look at
holes.
these! Look at these! Look at these! See? Yeah, look. It looks like someone tried to put 2 dimes in you side by side.
Dimes.
Copper coins.
They're look at the swelling around those puncture marks and stuff for the poison. It's really good. When you're flexing and lifting those heavy objects, they'll really pop. Maybe literally pop.
Do you want a healing kit done on you?
Only take 10 minutes, so sure.
Yeah.
All right, then somebody want to try a medicine check to see?
That's not me.
And he didn't kill you, actually.
Which is pretty rare on my first roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means the important stuff later on.
Yep, that's going to be one of these days.
I think Nye actually has the treat wounds button, so drag one on to Hundar. I got it.
Okay.
4, 3, and 6. There you go. Look at that. You feel so much better. Scars be damned, as they say. But I think Char's onto something there. Maybe you could tattoo him or something with scars. So we know that Ash, you're heading down towards the Ringmasters. Do you know where it's at? Probably not.
No, not exactly.
Your character would, but it's actually right here.
Okay.
That
Ash,
one.
I like the name.
There you go. It might be literal if you're hanging around with me long enough.
We got Char and Ash.
So, Char, you want... What actually are you doing? Were you going to go interview some of the people hanging around the camp?
Yeah, I was going to go, interview, especially if there's still...
So this is sort of that fires where people are around, which is not far from that, so I guess you can keep an eye on that. What does Nye want to do with Ripper?
I'm going over by them because I think Ash is the only one with a light source.
We're left in the dark. It's getting dark over here. You know, come think of it, you think that campfire would have a good light source on it, but I don't think it's been added there. Balto follow along, and he can see with his dark vision anyways. That leaves Hundar. Hundar has also got dark vision. What does Hundar want to do?
Try and look for more snakes or
Snakes!
things that are out of place.
Okay, so
Torn up.
Are you
We're not
hanging
Neds.
around with a group, or do you want to go off someplace else to look for these snakes?
I'm wandering around.
Okay, so go ahead, place
Feel
your.
free to pick my random direction.
All right, roll an 8-sided. 2. You went east.
All right, wonderful.
You're out there looking for something, anything that looks out of
Something.
place. Yeah. All right,
Snakes.
Ash. For you, you could see he parked his personal wagon there near the fire and the pond there. There's a colorful banner on each side of the wagon advertising the Circus of Wayward Wonders with the large capital letters, surrounded by images that depict some of the most famous acts on the show. These are also ones. I'll give you this, which I think is sort of fun. I grabbed that from the PDF. This is some examples of what they're trying to set up, or maybe things you want to do for advertising going forward, because you guys are going to have to deal with some of that. You can kind of zoom in, and actually, these are kind of cool pictures. Not necessarily
Yeah, that's
entirely
neat.
like it, because there's out here's like checks nature +7. It's level 1 DC 15 for Axel's amazing aviary. If you zoom in, you can kind of read all that. But that's sort of the idea of what the poster images and
The
stuff.
snake is intimidation.
It's Mr. Tickles.
Yeah, see how nice Mr. Tickles is? Elysia and Mr.
Yeah.
Tickles. So, the dwarven throwers.
I can throw dwarfs.
Yes, exactly. So there's plenty of opportunities here, and you guys can come up with your own. But you kind of see some of those like poster type things hanging on there. They have the Feather Fall 5, the guys that you had trouble getting up there. That Clay guy kind of stepped in, and then we watched Ash try to get them both knocked off. Mordain, Eliza, Mr. Tickles, stuff like that. But there's a three-step effects to the back of the wagon that leads up to a red door with a golden knob, and that would be, if you wanted to try to enter into there, that would be how you would get into it. But on the outside, you can throw down like a survival check, and just kind of perception and survival if you want to, and just try to get a look to see what might be. Not really catch anything. I mean, part of the problem is there's obviously been a lot of people milling about. There's even you could even see some like people laying flowers down that sometimes get thrown at the end of the shows, and other keepsakes in Myron's. Like in thought and prayers to Myron type of stuff. Little kind of
These
tributes
fools,
to
they're
him.
trying to give him an antidote, and he's already dead.
There you go. I could add that to your. Look at he's already ringmastering for the next one. Come see the fools try to bring back the dead to life. I don't know if that's going to go over so well, but look at your guys aren't the ringmaster. This strange looking char guy is. So you don't really catch anything on the outside that jumps out at you as saying, "Oh, this means something."
Okay. Is his door locked or?
Well, there's one way to find out.
Okay.
Well, you can examine it. Are you worried? Would I ever put a trap, or would anybody ever put a trap?
No, it'll be okay.
You certainly wouldn't put a trap on like something someone would walk into. Now you put a trap 30 feet away near the trees of a place someone might walk
Yeah.
into.
That's the secret.
Yeah,
No one expects that.
I've seen it. I've seen you do it.
That's funny. All right, we'll go see if the hand blows me up.
It does not, but it is locked.
Oh, what's trapped?
I was hoping it'd blow him up.
Should have blown up if it was trapped.
I doubt it's trapped, but can I check for traps first.
Yeah, but
and then-
you'll have to box that one. You have to tower that one.
Okay. Perception.
Yes. Looks good to me.
Oh, great. The problem with that, as we figured out one time, whether it was really good or really bad, we had the same answer.
Yeah. Sheeny never noticed anything.
Yeah.
So,
All right. I'm gonna try my to pick the lock.
so you pull out your tools
Oh, great.
and you try to.
Let's hope there's like a deadly, I don't know, some creature in there that.
And you start working away at it.
Bet Mr. Tickle's in there.
Not quite being able to unlock it yet, though. Take a deep breath. You think you can keep working on it.
If I'm nearby, could I cast guidance on him?
If you want to walk over, you see him trying to pick the lock to there, and as you're talking to people, there's people like sulling about things. You haven't picked up anything quite yet.
All right, I'll stay talking to people, and if I'm not next to him, I wouldn't walk over.
Yeah, you're what? Right now, you're 15 feet away. You can see him standing there.
Oh, I guess I could cast that. Yeah, I'll cast guidance. I don't think it's just
Is
a
that
plus one.
Is that a range or you just?
It's a cantrip. It's just a +1 for the next action he does, and he can only get a benefit from it once an hour.
All right, so he's got one shot at this.
Yeah.
I think you would actually drag and drop that on his character sheet, and it'll add
Oh yeah,
it to
let me
the.
see which one it is. Save guide.
There you go.
Guidance immune. I think that means we can't get it put on again.
All right.
No, not like that. I don't know what I'm doing either.
I'm like, he's waving over at him. You're like trying to talk to people. Like, well, maybe you could use a little bit of song or something, and then you're distracted by watching it. Like, oh, forget it. Yeah. But you haven't broken any lock picks yet, so you could keep working at it if you want. You're trying to figure it out. It's a tough one for you, anyways.
Okay. You know I am trying thievery, right?
Yeah. I suspect it. I'm not sure I believe it.
This is all right.
Go ahead.
I'll try.
All right. Now you figure you've gotten through the first part. You've managed to set the pieces in there that'll start to release the locking mechanism, but you're going to have to work yourself in there a little bit deeper and get the second part of that mechanism to finally completely unlock it. So you'll need another success if you want to have this work for you.
Okay.
And with the final, click, you could hear that the lock aspect of it has been released, and you're fairly certain that if you just grab that handle and turn the door and open that up, the door will swing.
Be careful.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, so you swing the door open. Actually, I need to put you here because you'll be right there at the door. And everybody else is just sort of watching. Be careful.
Yeah, I'm still milling around.
So you pop it open, and the first thing you notice is that there's sort of a bit of a fog in there. There's like, you would sort of remember this in a couple of quick meetings when he would come in and talk to you. That he had this ever burning. Oh wow, ever burning torch.
Is that a wildcat?
That was one of our cats. Who constantly gets in trouble. Ra, our sun
Fighting.
god. To fit in with the char and ash aspect of it, but he's been a troublemaker lately.
When are cats not troublemakers?
Yeah, exactly. And you could see that torch is still glowing in there, but the air is thick with this sort of cloud. And it occurs to you that there's like this strange pollen hanging in the air. And you could see the source of it as you look into the room. And it's coming from a couple of these plants in there. And it's kind of puffing it out. Hi, Shade. You want to wave? Um, and that's what it looks like. And you could feel sort of the pollen things turn towards you and try to spray at your character.
Ah, yes.
That does hit you. You take. Ooh.
Damage.
So that stuff, you start coughing and gagging on it, and then suddenly you feel your willpower start to weaken as you start to, imagine strange things around you. So go ahead and make a will save.
Like, why does this guy have this in his thing?
Exactly. But you manage to kind of shake off the effects and the strangeness that you're feeling from that. But any chance to deal with these effects? To deal with finding out what else is in that wagon probably means you're gonna have to do something about those strange pod plants that are in there shooting out bursts of pollen spray. So go ahead and throw it on an initiative roll. Anybody else who wants to get involved, feel free to. I guess I should lock tokens.
I guess I'll do it as well. Is it dexterity initiative or perception?
Just a regular. There's no dexterity initiative. On your
Okay.
action sheet, the top says initiative. If you were like trying to do stealth or something, you could be in stealth mode and try to sneak up on the plant. But you're not. If you could see, you could hear him coughing and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, what's coming out of there?" And well, elves, they're very naturey. They're probably smoking something. Other than that, we'll let Balta, who's watching on. He's a bit confused by this whole thing. Nye, are you interested in trying to deal with any of this, or are you going to hope that the guys can take care of it?
I have to help Ash.
Yeah, that's possible. Well, he's got some strange plant that's is belching at him, and he's seems to be coughing and wheezing over there.
I'm still angry from him last night, not killing that guy.
That's true.
I don't know if I should help him. He really deserve it. I'll be nice. What do I need to roll?
Just the initiative on your action tab. Yeah, she's not as enthusiastic about it. All right, Ash.
Yep.
You're looking in there. You think you got some options, right? You're looking it over. You could try to go in and remove one of the pollen pods out of there. It looks like you're probably going to have to get rid of 4.
Okay.
It seems like there's a couple of more in there now that you kind of no longer hallucinating, at least in the short term. And obviously, if you could rely on some nature to see if you can't prevent them. Use your nature knowledge to see. You have to be trained in it, and I think you obviously are. To see if you can't, prevent them from bursting like it just did at you and shooting those things at it. You have some ideas. You're not sure if you'll be successful. But you could try to go in, remove some of those pods, cover them, tie it off, whatever it is you think you got handy that might be able to prevent them from bursting, and they can move them out. So either of those two are an option if you'd like to try to disable it, or you could just go up and start smacking at him with a sword or shooting him with a bow, which...
That's a dangerous idea.
I have attacking in any form will make them do more. That more will come out than. And if I am bow at a range, but I'm going to do the nature check first.
Okay, so you come up and you try to, and your first thought was maybe you could drown them with water. Unfortunately, you didn't notice the label Miracle Grow on the bottle that you poured into it that would maybe hold down the spores. But it was the plant food that that Myron there had been using on it, and it looks like they're pretty healthy after that. That brings up Char.
Bravo, Ash.
Um,
Bravo.
So you saw him over there, coughing and stuff, and he's you then see him go in, and he's like, "I got this. Maybe I don't have this." Other than
I
that,
guess I kind of walk and I look in. What are you doing?
and you could see all those. You saw those plants. I showed you the picture of it before, and you could see a few of them in there. You could see Ash in there trying to. I might as well just move them in, make it look good. Ash in there trying to cover him up so he can investigate the place, because clearly you guys have been in there within the last few days, and they had not been there. They were not there before. There's not a plant that you remember Thunder ever having around. Matter of fact, even though Ash doesn't know how to deal with them at the moment, he's trying to figure that out. It's definitely not native to circus wagons.
I mean, should I set these plants on fire?
Oh dear.
I mean,
You'll burn the whole wagon down.
I just look in there and go, okay, and then I use the next action to walk back to what I was doing. Because he seems fine.
The elf's got it under control.
Yeah.
All right. So you're in there, and yes, you're in there by yourself, and these pods all sort of start turning their little pod openings towards you, and you can see them start to spray over and over again in your direction, protecting their territory. The first one does hit. Not as bad. Go ahead and make a will save.
Oh no.
You're kind of confused right now, and you're not sure what's friend or foe in there. You're imagining creatures coming out of the walls, giant snakes. Mr. Tickles has gone, feral. Everything is very confusing to you. But the other ones are still spraying in your direction. What's your armor class? What were you doing running in here?
Steve,
I
you knew he was going to have something attack you.
Maybe I should have helped.
That's bad.
I thought he had it under control. I didn't want to burn the thing down.
That was a critical wound. So you guys hear a thud, and
Oh dear.
you see Ash collapse on the ground. Things
What a pity.
could get worse when you realize that the pods are, even as he's laying there unconscious, are still spraying at him. So that actually kind of gets your dying rating up one more. So you're now dying 2.
Oh dear. Am I going to have to come help you?
Well, he's not going to reply right now, just in case you were wondering.
Just mostly gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Just a reminder, at what dying level do you die?
4.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to make a gravestone for Ash.
You do have, obviously, some healing powers if you just want to try to get it back up. 2 action 1 will heal him pretty well if you want to do that. Or you could
I'll
try to
do
go do
that.
something, to try to stop these creatures. Or you could send the wolf
No,
in.
he has to stop the creatures. I'm just going to heal him.
Okay. So go ahead, and if you want to cast the 2 action 1, he's within range. You could see him there.
Is that the one labeled heal?
Yep, on level 1. The second one, the second plus, is the
Okay.
D8 plus 8 one, which is the one you're going to want to do to him. Give him his...
Do I just put it on top of his character?
Yep, just drag it onto him. See how well you get him back up there. Well, she did get you back to life.
That is something.
You have one more action. I mean,
I don't know if you want to thank her for bringing me back to this.
Yeah, hello. Like, thanks for being here. Now go kill the plants.
you could You could aid him if you want to with your last action and use your nature to give him a better chance of getting out of there alive.
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and throw a nature check down.
Oh my god.
Like,
I do not want to help him.
I think you're trying to kill him. So she gives you some advice, but it's actually going to make you worse when you try to get yourself out of there alive. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's classic. Unless you want to use a hero point. I should offer that, since everybody gained their hero point. Plus whatever.
No, I don't feel like wasting it on him.
So what's your new ranger gonna be called?
Well, let's go back to Kiss.
Alright, so Balto realizes you might be in trouble there. And then is pretty sure there's not much he could do for you. But
You have such helpful friends.
yeah, no, that doesn't look good. No, I wouldn't. You really
I feel genuinely guilty. I didn't throw fire in there.
try to burn him.
I thought he was gonna be able to close the like. I thought he was.
So he's going to try to actually like ray of frost him. See if maybe he could freeze them down, chill them out. Maybe try to break one of the pollens by icing it over. Oh man.
Wow.
Instead, he's like, well, maybe if we freeze Ash, then
Yes.
it'll be sort of his body will preserve better, and he won't die as quickly.
If he's frozen, the pod get in.
It just occurs to me.
Don't want to help Ash.
Yeah, it occurs to me that it's really your guys' group wizard, the one with the second most hit points in this group.
I mean, he is a dwarf.
Yeah. So he's hard. He's going to rather foolishly, since he's not here, come in closely and be like, all right, I'll try to cover one of these things, and he's trying to shield you from the pods in case they start firing at you next turn. All right, Hundar. Oh man, your perception check's pretty low. Unless somebody shout. Oh no, you never rolled. Roll a non-initiative
Roll?
perception. Yeah.
I just rolled an initiative.
Okay, that's fine. You are kind of far away. Something's going on over there, but you can't really tell what it is. There's some shouting. It could just be people cheering and stuff like that. You don't necessarily know what's going on. If you want, you can kind of call back and say, "Is everything okay?" And then we'll let you pick up next turn on your initiative.
50-50. Okay, I go.
All right. So they're like, just the elf. When it gets to be your initiative.
Felt like I was gonna go.
Well, I'll say your turn was trying to figure out what was going on. Okay. Next turn you can kind of try. You know what? I'll let you do it because Ash might really need some help. Like, what's going on over here, guys?
No, he doesn't. He's fine.
All right, Ash, you're laying there prone, and all these plants are looking at you, but you are at the base of one of them, and you think you might be able to disable one by taking it out from its base and tipping it upside down. If you want to give that a shot, or you can scramble and try to run out of here.
No, I'll give that a shot. But what do I need to try? What do I need to?
That could be either way. Do you want to try thievery this time? Nye is telling you that if you tickle the pollen centers, that it will irritate them so much that they won't be able to shoot them.
Yeah, just listen to my advice. It's totally accurate.
But you do have thievery, and you believe you might be able to, disable it by maybe covering it by tipping it over in its pot. And do you want to use a hero point, or are you good with that?
I think I'm going to use a hero point.
All right, so you pop a hero point. By the way, I did give you advantage. You were going to hallucinate, maybe attack your friends, but because you kind of died in the interim, you don't do that. You come back to your senses. It kind of went away with your.
I swear he touched me.
Oh, there he goes. All right, so you managed to tip it over, and definitely one of the four pod centers you believe is now disabled and won't be able to shoot its spray. You're pretty confident about that, but there's still 3 looking at you. All right, Char, you hear people saying, you hear Nye going, tickle the centers, maybe you won't die next time, but you did see her cast healing magic in his direction.
And I'll go over there again. What's going on over here? Oh my god! So I don't have an enemy on my map. So
It would just be sort of a general. I guess
yeah,
I
right.
give you.
So it's like I can't really target. That's fine. I can't really target something. I'm gonna try using one of my focus spells.
What are you gonna try?
Well, probably not incendiary aura because that hits everything around me. But I will do a fire ray at the plants.
Okay, so what does Fire Ray do?
It's an attack spell. It does 2d6 fire damage.
Okay, so it is straight
2
up
actions.
2 actions. So you're there, 60-foot range creature, and it's just an attack roll, not a saving throw, right?
Yeah, just I believe it's
Yep. So
just an attack roll.
so go ahead and make that ranged spell attack, and I'll let you know. That
19?
is, you managed to, blast into one of the ones ahead of you. Not enough to critical it, obviously. But
Oh, you sure? Because it takes persistent fire damage.
it's not a critical. Yeah, I know. Wouldn't it be nice? No, but go ahead and roll your damage to see how much you blast this sucker for.
6 points.
All right, so
That's
it
under
burns. In that one, seems to do it, but the moisture in their leaves and whatnot seems to absorb some of it. So there's some resistance to the fire, but not a lot. But you definitely have gotten one of them withering down, and it's it burned it up some, but not enough. You don't think to destroy a second one of those. And
Okay.
to be sure of that, in response, you can see the one that you just flamed actually kind of turns its pods. It fires back at you in retaliation.
But there's an elf between me, so it should hit the elf.
He's laying on the ground.
Yeah, I know. We know how to like being prone.
All right, so you're lightly wounded, not too bad, but you do have to make a will saving throw.
Okay, I will do that. I think that's my worst one. No, fortitude's my worst.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine. A second pollen spray, though, still going after the elf laying on the ground.
Really?
Yep.
This is like just like
Oh, it
friendly
misses.
fire with more
Look at
steps.
being prone finally worked out for you.
I'm
The third one goes
I'm
after
gonna
Balto. What are you gonna do there with?
gonna figure out how my curse works.
Oh yeah, because you got to go up the stages, right? Are you starting to see the halo already? Unfortunately,
Yeah, I'm
for
trying to see
Balto
if
came
I
in
am.
and tried to shield you. It's a good thing he's a
Watch
tough guy.
Balto die.
Hey, look, we'll have a new this every week. John, your character, you may not be the
Okay,
one making
so
a new one
I'm-
next week.
No, I'm not. I'm at the minor level. One spell's gonna put me at the minor curse level.
Okay.
So for me, that means anything more than 30 feet away from me is concealed by what appears to be smoke to me. So that's what's happening.
That's a thing. More than how much?
30 feet.
Okay, so concealed actually means there's like a flat chance that if you attack something, you'll miss it. If it's more than 30 feet or at 30 feet or more.
30 feet or more.
Okay. Unfortunately, Balto appears to be seeing the same things that Ash was seeing before he dropped. But the pods have sprayed their spray. I'm actually going to make it visible just to make it easier. Hundar, you could see there's a lot going on in there. Pods, there's this weird kind of hazy pollen.
What the heck is going on here?
Quick! Hit the pods very softly a few times in a row. Just hit it as softly as you can, but let me get out of the way.
I'm gonna rage. And I'm gonna run in there with a reckless charge
Uh,
or sudden
God.
charge.
I'm gonna have so much healing to do after this.
I don't think they're going to wait from you.
and you just see one of those dream pollen pods, and you just start wailing away at one
I'm
of them.
gonna whack it.
All right, so you just are like, whatever.
It's a plant. Is it flat-footed?
No,
It doesn't have feet.
16 hit.
that does not hit.
Hero point.
All right, you pop a hero point and do hit it.
Nice.
I forgot to rage, so it's an extra 6.
All right, so you slash through one of those, and it definitely explodes in a burst of pollen-y spray.
Oh, great.
You're coughing a bit, but you got some temporary hit points there. It should be okay. Nye. Things are looking a little bit better, except for the fact that Balto...
No, and now I have more healing to do.
I haven't been taking any damage, thank you very much.
And I can do some. I can do one more heal.
I can do some. So, with that in mind, what does she want to do? Got lots of time. You got Balto there, who's kind of looking a little crazed. You got...
Shall I maybe heal up Balto? He doesn't look too good.
No, because if he goes nuts, at least get rid.
Oh.
If he goes nuts, we don't want him to be that good.
We don't want him to be healed. No, that might be.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Or you can try attacking with your Ray of Frost or something if you wanted to.
I feel like getting involved with that situation. Rather sit back and kind of watch it take place.
So, you could even... Oh, no, it's not a single action. It's like you can't really ready to heal the first person it drops because that's a 2-action thing for a ranged heal. So, do you want to preemptively heal somebody? Do you want to just wait and watch? Do you want to try to give more advice to Ash?
If you actually listen to my advice, I'll heal Balto.
Okay.
If I can.
So go ahead and use 1 second.
2-action heal.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. He's going to need it. You probably don't want to run in. That is your second of your heals, though. So you are out of heals now.
Wonderful. Ash, if you get hurt,
You
there's nothing I
could
can do.
you could send Ripper in there with your last action, but I don't know.
Last time, no, Ripper's already had enough damage done.
All right, so you could still shout some advice if you want to.
Sure.
He didn't seem to want to tickle the pollen centers. Do you want to try to give him different advice since he's ignored the first one?
Sure.
All right, so go ahead and throw it on a nature check. It seems a little more solid to you. She's making a little more sense. In the meantime, Balto has decided to electric arc the 2 closest things to him, which is Char and Ash.
No, but why? But why?
Both of you make reflex saving throws.
Okay, let me do that.
This is
Action.
amazing.
Where there goes reflex.
That's a good reflex save. Why did those 2 not show up as... I bet you... Alright. His reflex save... 17. Neither one of you critically succeeded, but you both take half, so I guess I will just roll this. It didn't pick you guys. It'll be half of that.
I'll kill you, you son of a bitch!
Ash, you take 4.
Oh wow, he rolled that.
Ooh. Sorry, Ash, I'm not healing you.
Sorry, not sorry.
And Char, you take 4 more. You're feeling a little less sure of yourself. Because you're standing and Ash is laying down, I'm going to say 1 to 4, he attacks you, you're a little more obvious. But 5 or 6, he decides the guy laying down is easier to hit. Okay, so he does. He turns with his clan dagger. Oh, he's only See what? Ed tries to stab you, just in case you were wondering.
Jeez, Balto, you've turned evil.
He's like, get these things off of me.
Up.
19, really?
Oh my goodness.
And just tickles you. Well, of course, if you keep rolling
It
max.
tickles me a bit.
Yeah, it's that clan dagger is sharp.
I shouldn't have healed Balto.
And, and then on the bright side, he's like, "Oh, sorry about that. I feel better now."
Oh my goodness.
All right, Ash.
Well, I'm glad you feel better about that.
Some of the people are out here. Is this one of the new acts? That's really quite exciting.
People know intelligence.
Do I have any better ideas other than trying to flip them over?
Well, she did give you one that you think would work. Or you think it might even be better than flipping him upside down.
Okay.
So she did give you some advice that seemed positive. If you want to make a nature check.
I would like to point out, hitting them worked really well for me.
And it worked. You disabled another one. There's only one damaged pod left. And you feel pretty good. So Char, you're not, on the other hand, you're not feeling really terrific at the moment. If the blood splattering all over your token is any indication. The fact that you...
I will,
Why'd you spend so much time trying to find a picture that's relevant to this character when you're just going to be covered in blood all the time?
oh, that's fine. What do I want to do? I will cast Shield on myself for +1 AC.
Yep, and you'll be able to use a reaction if you get hit by something.
Right. And then I will... watch out for number 1.
Oh, look at that. Full out.
And, yeah. That's my turn.
All right. We got a lot of good... The one did spray at you originally, but there's been a lot of action here, and some of the plants are dying. So I'm just going to make it like 50-50 for all. So we'll just say 1, 2, it sprays at Hundar, 3, 4, it sprays at Balto, and 5, 6, it goes after Char. Oh. Oh, wait, I forgot Ash, didn't I? We need 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Ash is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. Oh, it's still Balto. Balto in his crazed state, but apparently...
I should have rolled a 2.
See, this is why you had to heal him. You should feel better about it now.
Now I do.
That still hit him.
Well, that's because it's 12.
Oh, he's going to go back into an hallucinative state, probably. All right, here.
Oh no.
All right, Balto again with a will save. He's slightly...
Damn it. But the bad part is...
You see his eyes glaze over again.
Oh my goodness.
The spiders, the bugs, the plants, they're all over the place. Some of them are tall and horned looking. Hundar. Do you want to try to smash the last...
Wolves are there?
What?
Is there only one
Just
left?
one damaged one left that's been charred up quite a bit. That is a hit. That'll finish it for sure with your rage. Alright, so that is dispatched. You still have 2 actions.
I'm gonna yell at them. Why was this such a problem?
What is wrong with you guys? Simple plants.
It's like, I was attacked, sir, but...
Nye, as they're arguing over that, what do you want to do?
What are my options?
Well, Balto's looking a little crazy, but you're not really entirely sure you could do anything about that because you're not much for, wrestling people down or restraining them.
Yeah, I'm not being part of that.
And you probably don't want to send your wolf in there just yet.
No. Once everyone else is dead, maybe I will.
So
So
you have some, obviously you have some other abilities, but yeah, I mean you could try to tangle them up, I suppose. Uh, let's see if you can't restrain him, but that just keeps him immobilized. And this, if he does another electric arc, it's probably not going to help anybody coming up. But or you could try to knock him out, like blast him down. But I'm not sure you have anything that's really going to be able to take him out in one shot.
yeah,
You could run up and try to treat his condition, which is a bit risky.
I'm not attempting that.
You could run up and treat wounds on someone.
That's a 10-minute process.
No.
Oh, she does have battle medicine now, though. No, that's somebody else. I don't think it's her. Crap, I can't know these characters. Yeah, I know you don't have battle medicine. No, yeah, you might just whisper
That's
a little
right.
prayer for them and wish them the best.
I'll just sit there petting Ripper.
Okay. Balto! Alright, let's see if we can't get him to target you guys this time so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, he lets go with another confused, thinking you guys are giant plants. They're so much bigger now. He does an electric arc between you two. Both of you make reflex saving throws again.
Was I one of them?
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
That's a good one. Half damage
Well, that's good for me.
and full damage.
Ouch! Glad I healed myself.
That one was at least a little bit lighter.
Ash is gonna die pretty soon.
Well, maybe he'd go after Hundar. Come on.
Hundar's not in reach. Alright, same thing. You're standing, you're the bigger plant with
Didn't Hundar come in to the...
yeah, but he's on the other side and he's out of reach.
Oh, okay.
So 1 to 4 again, it's Char. He wants to get the big plant, so yes. So he's taken a dagger stab at Char again. Oh god.
Well, I mean, this is pretty cool.
Sorry?
You might be making a new
There you go.
character.
See, that wasn't so bad.
Oh my god.
And then he's like, "Oh man, did I do it again? I'm sorry. You really, you really looked like a big plant. My bad."
Sorry I hurt you there.
On the bright side, looks like the plants are gone,
Yeah.
Are we out of combat?
and I'm letting you guys come out of combat by resetting the initiative.
Undar doesn't know what's going on, and he attacks Balto.
Even though he was there for you earlier, but like Balto's crazy. If you want to take a swipe at him, you certainly could.
Non-lethal. Non-lethal. What's non-lethal?
Minus two, yes. I'll knock him
So
out
this
for you. This
minus
guy's
2.
crazy. That does hit, because we saw 13 hit. 19. All right, he does knock him out, it looks like. Yeah.
Bonk.
Thunk.
Die.
Now you can see people are over here. They were pretty depressed about losing Myron. But they're like, oh, this is going to be a great show. We've definitely got to incorporate this. That's amazing. You guys, I've never seen anybody so dedicated to the craft. Well, that looks so realistic.
People have no common sense.
But you've cleared one of the plants has been tipped over. Another one's been disabled, and 2 have been destroyed. So you can move those other ones out of there safely, or you can take them someplace and destroy them safely, like throw them in the fire. That'd be interesting. Well, you saw fire damage it, so it didn't look like it made the pollen. It actually looked like it killed the pollen spores when the fire hit it. So if you wanted to take the 2 remaining ones, you could put it in there. But the one thing you're sure of is that these things weren't in there originally.
Right.
Sorry, I'm responding to a text message.
I'm gonna rage search.
Oh.
Is that something you can do?
Yeah, the only thing I can do is seek, so I'm gonna seek something.
I am so angry about this. Yes, go ahead and make a perception check, just a normal one.
Perception. Probably look in the cabin.
Yeah. Unfortunately, kicking things around in there, you're kind of angry about this whole thing. Other than the fact that these plants were put in there, if they've been damaged, you don't notice anything on them that says why they were here. Uh, the first thing you might want to consider is Balto is in a dying state. Does someone want to try to stabilize him?
No, he's knocked out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's just unconscious. So you just leave him there.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to do anything? I guess eventually you could start thinking about treating wounds, but yeah, Ash, nothing that you catch. And does anybody else want to search in here and do some perception checks?
Yeah, I'll do one real quick. Ability, skill. And I'll cast guidance on myself +1. I'll do perception. 16.
Yeah, again, it's, obviously it's out of place. Nothing else looks to be disturbed. You can't imagine that an older gentleman like Myron was coming in, walking into this would have been something he could have survived. That's about the only thing you guys could put your head together. But you'd have to really be knowledgeable in nature to really, make any more of what the plants themselves were. But indicators that something else is going on, not really much there that lets you know. But there's a few things in there that at least you could incorporate as new owners of the place. He's had a few items in here that he kept. So if anybody wanted to put on Great Fortunato's cape and his bearskin hat, at least those things were undamaged by the plants. You got the ever-burning torch in there. There does appear to be some sort of alchemical item, but I don't know how much anybody's good at anybody's got alchemical skills in this group. But other than that, there's not really much you can make of
I thought
this.
we had someone with alchemical skills. Didn't anyone make that?
We did one, but I think they left.
Oh, did we? Oh, it sucks.
Raider.
So what would you?
Do you want to see if you can get any understanding of those plants?
Do you want to examine them a little closer now that they've been disabled?
Sure.
All right, so go up and throw it on in nature.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So they're definitely, these are exotic things and not known to this island at all. So someone had to go to some lengths to get them here. Or the only other possibility, I mean, like, obviously someone who's, like, the only other thing you could think of, it definitely doesn't fit Mistress Dusklight or whatever her name was. What you remember from her when you guys were there. Obviously, it's possible that like someone like yourself, a druid with the ability to like essentially summon murderous plants, could probably pull them from an exotic location without having to bring them here. But yeah, that's obviously that's Mr. Dusklight wouldn't be able to do that. But having a druid walk in here and summon these things seems a little bit far-fetched too, or someone else skilled in kind of primal magics. But that's your conclusion. Someone had to have carefully kind of cultivated these, brought him here, set him in here so that when he walked in, you would kill him, probably. Or someone with strong enough magic could summon these kind of exotic plants as a trap. other than that, you got two very injured people and unconscious person, and not much else you can figure out in his wagon there.
Do you want to try to do a heal kit or on Char?
Sure.
All right.
Who do I want to heal?
Who did you heal before? They can't have it happen to them again.
I think.
With the heal kit, I don't.
She did somebody top them off, remember?
Me.
Yeah, so you can't do him. So everybody else, if you wanted to try to treat wounds on the other three, you could do it. It would have to be another hour before you could treat them again. Oh, 50 minutes after you do the treat wounds. You could even spend a full hour treating wounds and double the effectiveness of it, by the way, if you just wanted to say, hey, let's just take an hour here, rest up, treat some wounds. You could listen to some music. It looks like they're thinking about playing some songs around the campfire to kind of relax and maybe, lighten the mood a little bit.
I'll do that.
So, does anybody have any objections to her treating wounds? Balto doesn't.
Knocked out.
No.
He seems to be okay with it. He hasn't raised any objections, anyways. Do you want to start with him since he's just there? So that's just a nature check. Or actually, it should be nature or medicine because you have natural medicine and regular medicine. It doesn't really matter. I think they're both the same.
Are they the?
Yeah, I think
My medicine nature?
Yeah, I think you're both the same. So you just need to go to your skills and roll.
Whichever's high.
Yeah, I think they're the same.
Nature's higher.
Oh, if nature's higher, then you should use your natural medicine. Well, that's a critical success. So you
Yay.
critically succeed healing Balto. Why do I have a feeling she's going to be the first time she critically fails, it does damage to someone, would be on Ash, as he's at 2 hit points.
It won't be intentional, I promise.
How do you set scores now again? Alright, who do you want to try to treat wounds on? You obviously don't have to go an hour with him. Just after your first treating of his wounds. Maybe because Hundar wasn't really trying to kill him. And just knocked him out. There wasn't serious woundings and you found it really easy to take care of him. He comes back and it's like, I feel good now. What was that all about? I must have bumped my head. And I just don't remember
you stick
anything.
with that, Balto.
Who do you want to try to treat wounds on next?
Ash is a guinea pig.
Okay, so you're trying Ash next, so go ahead and make another nature check. They
Not as good.
toyed with a 1 for a second, but you do manage to heal him a little bit. And, I rolled really good on that. So he's feeling a lot better. If you spend a whole hour, he would be to full, but he looks really good. So I don't know if it's worth going a full hour on him.
No, it's not worth it.
Okay, so do you want to do Char now? See if you can't treat his wounds?
Yeah.
Alright, so go ahead. And for Char, that's enough to at least get his healing, patching him up some. And he looks better. He's not as hardy as some of the other fellows in here, but he still looks like he looks a little bit better than he did before. So you guys could take a deep breath and say, whew, okay, it could have gone worse. But now what is kind of what you guys are left with.
During that hour, I was uninjured. Could I, or however many minutes, could I have just looked around?
Yeah, there's one thing that, like, you were looking around, but you hear somebody shouting that they're, like someone needs to go check off Bardolph's pen. There's something going on over there. There's a lot of rattling and banging around. Now, you know Bardolph is the circus bear. Big, beloved mascot. Previous owner and caretaker was the Great Fortunato, which you guys saw the clothing for. But unfortunately, Fortunato had been robbed and killed in an alleyway in Escadar. Myron took on kind of the care of Bardolph and uh, let let Bardolph take like residence in Fortunato's old wagon, and the giant bear, which Nye has had some. You saw her trying to train him, at least treat him and stuff like that. There's a few people who've been trying to keep him as a part of the circus act, and everybody pretty much loves this thing. Uh, but he's a big. I mean, he's a bear. He's not a little creature, needless to say, and but he's a gentle big old thing that everybody loves. But something's going on over in his wagon. It's banging around now. Everybody else is occupied. I don't know if you want to wait and
If people are yelling, I'm going to go over there now.
okay. And I'll show you where his wagon is way over. You have to kind of cross the water. I'll drag you over there. And he's over here. And as you get over here, you could see that there's something going on inside there. It's the thing's banging around. They're like, oh, I hope he's okay. Don't want him injured. Oh, please, like, are you going to go in there and try to wrestle him if there's something with him, or try to stop somebody from hurting him, or whatever? We just don't want anything to happen to him.
What do I see?
What's that?
What do I see?
That thing's pitching side to side. Whatever's in there is banging around loudly. It's enough to almost knock the wagon over.
Covered.
What?
It's a covered cage.
Yeah, it's actually Fortunato's wagon, so it's enclosed, like almost like the ringmasters, but without the decorative banners and stuff on the side.
I'm going to go over by the side. And I'm going to poke a hole in the side of the wagon and take a look.
All right. So you spend, and you've got plenty of time. This thing's banging around. You're kind of holding a hand up there, strong enough certainly to do that, and you kind of. If you don't have a dagger, and I'm not sure if your character does, somebody can give you one, or something that you could kind of wedge between the
javelin.
Yeah, the planks of the wagon side, and eventually you kind of cover all, and you see in there sort of a almost as if almost as if he's gone feral. It's definitely that gentle bear that you've seen. Little kids of 3 years old come up and pat, and nobody worry about it. And he's clawing at things, and he's banging around. He's smashed all the furniture and whatnot in there. It is weird. I know it's not in your repertoire, but if you could throw down a nature check and see if there's anything you can remember of even being around him. Oh, well, you got some training in it. So there's something about, like, so you thought, well, like, did something get him? Is he gone rabid and stuff? But the only thing, you don't know enough to really pinpoint it, right? But he's not frothing at the mouth. There's not, there's not, bloodshot eyes or anything like that. He just looks like strangely violent. But it doesn't seem natural to you. It doesn't seem like even like a malady, or like he's stepped on something and he's just the lion with a thorn in its foot. He's just.
It's out of my depth, so I'm going to go get help.
All right.
Other people that are being healed.
All right. So you come back and you could report this to especially Nye, who's familiar with Bardolph, and say, well, this is what I saw. But Nye will have to come up and look through that hole herself if she wants to try to determine if there's something going on with Bardolph.
Sure.
All right, so you come over and you can look through there. Go ahead and throw down your nature check.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's got to be put down. Do you want to use a hero point? You think he's got to be destroyed, that he's got some terrible disease with that kind of result.
Sure, we'll use the hero point.
All right, so
points.
go ahead, double click a hero point to show you pop one, and go ahead and re-roll that nature to see if you can't do any better.
There's a
All right, so
little
you
thing.
concur. You say there's something definitely wrong with him. That's not natural. You can't put your finger on it and say, yeah, this is what's happened to our beloved bear. But you don't think he's in his right mind.
Or bear.
Yeah, so you aren't honestly sure what to do. You could try to subdue it, not like try to knock it out like you just saw him do with Balto. Bring in people to try to do that. The bears are dangerous things, but you have faith that Hundar's a tough cookie. Or you could ask Ash if you can ask Ash if he wants to go in and try to like tame it or something. You know how that worked well with
I'm
the
sure Ash would love to.
Sure, why not?
We'll call some people over, just because it makes sense that you guys come along. Does anybody not want to come over and look at the
The elf get eaten.
the mascot of the?
I've got to see this.
So, Nye, you're pretty good. You're pretty good at handling animals, but for you to kind of calm and try to see if you could do something about Bardolph standing in front of a raging bear's not really your forte. Let's put it that way. So I'm not sure you would want to try to come in and stand in front of the thing itself and try to calm it. And it seems unlikely, but
Ash would prefer that.
you could have
Yeah,
Ash take a
raging
peek
bear.
at it. Do you want to do a nature check, Ash, and see if you have any ideas?
Why am I almost dead? What happened?
Whoa.
You got healed. You're down to only 4 wounds.
My health bar shows as red on the screen.
Mine does red also, but
It's actually more of a yellow.
No, mine on my character token.
I see a yellow bar that's about 3/4 full on yours, which would be exactly how much you have.
Mine's 3/4 empty and red.
Well, maybe this is part of your oracle. Maybe this is part of you being an oracle.
I'm seeing in the future.
Yeah, you're like,
Hey, still alive, baby.
okay, open up that. I'll stand here and protect you while you try to calm it. But yes, if you want to open that up and try to calm it or knock it out or subdue it somehow, good luck.
so I think I could. Is that the determination?
Yeah, you guys can't think of anything else that would. What you're mostly worried about is there some other influence
I could set the bear on
affecting
fire.
it. Yeah.
Please don't kill the bear.
It's not going to kill it. It's just going to make him easier to see.
How stupid do I think I feel by trying to tame it?
Very stupid.
Well,
but you're gonna go and
you're
do that.
smart enough to know that a creature that's enraged is extremely hard to bring down. It takes a real big effort to calm a creature that's already enraged. If you knew the source, you might be able to do something about it from that direction.
To try and see if I can find the source of his rage.
Through that little hole, not so much. If you opened up the door, you might be able to see something else.
In other words, put myself in the.
You don't have to go in.
All right, I'll
Just a
open the.
bear inside.
Well, you have Hundar there. I mean, you don't have to open the door. But if you want to open the door,
No, maybe I'll suggest Hundar opens the door, and I'll look in.
Right, Balto's still feeling a little woozy from being not has somehow falling down and hitting his head. Where does Nye want to be with Ripper? Right now, you're right next to the wagon there. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna see if I can. Does this zoom it in on you
I
guys
do
when I do
not
that?
want to be right by.
So move yourself wherever you'd like to be. Ripper's back there by Balto. Okay.
I'll go by Ripper.
Char, where do you want to be? Do we lose Char, or does he not remember his name?
Oh, sorry, I was. Yeah, no, I didn't remember my name actually. So I was literally just like hanging out. I'd like to be able to look in there. I like this.
All right.
I want to keep an eye on this evil dwarf.
We've already had to knock him out once. He was trying to be the ringleader. He was the one who was trying to replace you last time when you were watching, by the way. And Hundar, are you good where you're at? You gonna reach over and kind of swing open the door?
I'm gonna swing it over to where I'm the one. In
All right, so you stand in front and like, okay, I'm popping this open, see what you can see. It might be a good idea at this stage to roll a regular roll initiative for perceptions to see what you see in comparison to what might be happening.
Before we do that, am I knocking this thing out, or am I subduing it?
Well, we're trying to see if we can figure out what.
Well, Ash would like to try to figure out what's going on. Nye and everybody else standing around, who's now moving away, like I think they're going to open that up. Are like, please don't kill it. That's all they've said.
That does not answer my question. I'm talking to the party. Am I knocking this thing out or not?
Yeah, knock the bear out, punch a bear in the
As
face.
long as you don't kill it, you can do whatever you want.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna ready an attack. I'm gonna rage and ready an attack, and somebody else open the door, and I'll go in.
So open the door.
So that would mean Ash would have to move up if he's opening the door. Nobody else looks like they're good.
I mean, I could do it. I have a decent AC.
Well, no. Like, it swings open. Like, is it? What way does the door open?
Towards you, pulls towards you.
So like you could be on the other side of the door, and not be in, and I'll be the one in its way.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Someone could stand like southeast of you and kind of try to reach around and open it that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So who wants to take the southeast? Ash wants to be able to look in. Sounds like Char. Do you want Balto to move over there?
No, yeah, I'll come and I'll open.
All right, so you're like, I'll do this. Well, I'm going to put you in a little more, not necessarily not necessarily in the same square as Hundar. And everybody's happy where they're at?
Sure.
I swear, if there are more.
Ash, do you want to do a perception?
Initiative.
Yeah. See how quickly you notice compared to how quickly Hundar is going to react and everything else. So that's pretty quick. Might as well have Balto. Does anybody else want to roll initiative? I assume people are interested in reacting depending. Oops, why did I re-roll Hundar's? That was not it. He was 14.
No, 24. Yep. Sounds about right.
For some reason I tried to click on Balto and it pulled up you.
No, it is that.
Alright. Balto, Electric Arcs, Ripper, and Ash.
You better not.
Char, do you want to initiative?
I thought I already did. But I guess I didn't.
Didn't go through. Just on your action tab, the easiest thing to do is up on the left. Just double click that and it'll...
I think I rolled it before you said you wanted it. 16.
Alright. So everything's going to happen. Everything's happening as the door pops open. So we'll start with Ash. Swing the door open. Hundar's kind of ready, but the problem is the door comes open, there's just a flurry of things, including like furniture and stuff that had been there, come scattering out, and like fragments of wood and padding, tiered glass shards and stuff. And you guys are all scattered away from that as it kind of explodes out with the sight of the big old Bardoff coming behind that. What you see.
Why is he?
Go ahead. We were going to say with what is what
I was gonna say, why is he so upset?
exactly? Is you almost? It looks a little bit glassy-eyed, like you remember with Balto. Um, you're not really sure what that means. You have your full 3 actions from there, though.
Okay. So, one, I'm going to do nature check.
All right. So what you do know, just
What is that? What I'm supposed to roll? I should have asked.
yeah,
that
that's
question.
fine. It's not as much. Do you have forest lore, or what is your lore actually?
Forest
Yeah.
lore.
Because Bardolph has been so, you know, domesticated, he doesn't really fall into the normal forest bear. Although at one stage you expected he was. What you could say is that, hey, he hits hard. He's capable of, you know, bursts of speed. You know, his jaw attacks would honestly, other than Hundar, his jaws alone are probably enough to kill anybody in this group with just a single bite.
One.
Uh, his claws, on the other hand, are capable of, you know, grappling and grabbing. Maybe not enough to kill most of the party. I mean, probably someone like Char, yeah, sure.
But just like 2/3 of the party.
But he would, you know, they often will grab people and then maul them while they're holding him down, and so they kind of rake and tear through people that they have grasped in their claws. But you expect, looking at him, he's going to be coming out probably full rage. But Hundar's in front of him, and the way he looks is probably just going to go after the first thing it sees.
How did my perception do for seeing?
You know, the weird
What was in?
The weird part is there's something about this that's definitely not natural. There's something involved here that's unusual, but you sort of feel like you don't have the skills to understand what you're seeing.
To put it in more layman terms, you don't have the skills to pay the bills.
So that's what you got. Your perception's like, okay, there's something about him that's not natural. It's not even like he's got a disease, or even if someone had given him some sort of like raging potion type of thing, it would have been something that would have stirred up something inside the bear that was waiting to come out, sort of a natural aggression. There's nothing about that you see there. There's definitely an influence that you just do not understand. And if there's indicators of what is happening to Bardolph, you know, that's, you know, above your pay grade.
Yeah, that sucks. I could read aura, but he's not an item, so I don't know if that would do anything.
Hey, well, you know, you guys are still friends. You're not really an item yet.
That's fair. But it's just...
I'm going to do a. I'm gonna.
But you cut out there for a second. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna hunter mark him.
Okay.
And and then I am going to step back.
Hey, if he gets away, you'll be able to track him at least.
Yeah.
If you tried to mark him, by the way, that designated.
Yeah.
There it is. He's the designated target. Okay, so that was your 3 actions.
Yeah.
Balto. Seems good to me. I don't see anything going on here that's unusual. Uh, you could take pest form. I'm gonna go on him and cling on to him as a flea. No. Yeah. I think he's gonna start by shielding himself. That looks dangerous. And he'll do a detect magic. See if he can sense if there's any magic going on in here that might have some influence on this whole thing. And what he gets is a good question, actually. I hadn't actually thought about. I should check. I should read up detect magic. I think it's for items and stuff, right? So he's like looking for that. I've always been maybe not purely raw. Pulses register presence of magic. So he's like, well, I know what magic you guys have carried. He's like, he's like, I sense some enchantment magic going on in this area.
Continuous.
Char. Doors burst open. The fragments are scattered all across Hundar. You can't really. I mean, you could see like a claw starting to pull itself through the doorway. You don't really see much of Bardolph from where you're at, but you are up.
I'll move here.
And then you can see it clearly.
And it looks at me, and I look at it, and I'm going to attempt to intimidate it.
Yes,
glare.
good. Give him a good glare.
But he doesn't speak the language.
So but you only have to do a glare, so you don't have to do a language.
It says if you're not speaking a language or they can't hear you, you take 4 circumstance penalty to the check. This is
but
for
you have that
demoralize.
feat, right?
Yeah. Okay. Does that skip it?
Yeah, I think as long as you don't verbalize it, you just give him a mean look. You don't have to do. It becomes a visual attack, and it doesn't have an audio component.
Okay, cool. So I will use intimidation. Oh, it was a 20 for a second.
So 15, and it's against. What is it against? Oh, it's Bardolph's going to save no matter what it is. But I can't remember. What does it tell you in intimidation? What they're saving? What you're trying to. Is it against their will?
You can choose a creature for the intimidate check against the target's will DC.
Yep, there we go. Will DC.
What's the will DC?
He seems to ignore it. He's got a +8, so he's at 18 will DC. So that's what you're shooting for. Not too far off. You're pretty much 50-50. You could have scared it though. Really intimidated a bear, which is pretty impressive if you think about it. But
and if it fails, I can't use it for 10 minutes. No.
So you got one more action now. Bad bear, sit down.
So I think it's being affected by something.
I mean, you've heard people talking about it, and they don't think it's natural. And then Balto's like, I don't know, I sense some sort of enchantment magic in the area.
Should I give the bear guidance for saving throws?
You could try. I mean, there's nothing.
I'll put a shield. I put a shield up on myself.
Okay.
So that's the end of my turn.
So Nye, what would you like to do?
Yeah. What can I do?
Yeah, you're in a tough situation too because you obviously don't want to hurt it. One thing you could do, if you don't mind, little suggestions as you learn to play role-playing games is obviously you could try to throw Tanglefoot on it, right, and see if you can't wrap it up so at least it doesn't come bursting out of there and hurting anybody. The worst, it would hold it down so it would just be Hundar and Bardolph trying to knock each other out. So you could try to tangle it up with the possibility of immobilizing or at least making it slow down so it can't go anywhere. Other than that, yeah, it's not. You don't have a lot of like, hey, I can knock you out with this type of thing. Most of the stuff you do is pretty obvious, like throwing acid at it or raise a frost at it. They're definitely going to damage it.
So anyway, that turtle guy, he seems like such a butt. I'm assuming that was turtle that came in.
It's possible.
Yeah,
Or
I'll
what?
do
Oh no,
tanglefoot
it's actually James.
Is
Hello.
it Jay?
No,
Oh,
Clay. I don't know if you remember Clay. He used to role play with us a bit. It's his son.
cool.
I said he might be able to join us for some of these Tuesdays. The character, by the way, James, the character you were going to play, has twice now attacked the party because he's been confused by this pollen stuff that made him hallucinate. So they had to actually knock him out. One shot at him and knocked him out. But anyway, other than Tanglefoot, you could try to do some nature stuff and see if you can't, get really lucky and try to calm it down, kind of soothe it. Or you could try to.
I'll just try
All right, so
tanglefoot.
go ahead and roll a Tanglefoot attack against it. It's got the little.
Do I have the bear selected?
You do now. Wow, that did not critical it. So you can't immobilize it, but at least click the little the first little body looking thing on it, and that'll at least start to slow it down as it gets tangled up in all these vines and stuff that you have coming out. So yes, it's now slowed down by the force of the roots and stuff wrapping around it. Other than that, you want to just, you know, relax there with Ripper. You could tell Ripper to be on guard or something in case it gets through, but other
Sure.
than that, yeah. That'll leave up to Bardolph, who, all tangled up,
I'll do it.
sees Hundar in front of him.
Are ties determined again?
That is a terrific question.
Typically, ties go to the bear because it's the bear.
All I know is that I actually put you in front of him for a second, and then accidentally reset it, and it put you behind him. So for one reason or another, it is determined that I will give you this because I've always sort of done this. If when there's a tie, if something happens and you get knocked out, I would let you kind of like take your shots as you're going down because it'd almost be happening simultaneously, anyways. But for now, it snaps its jaws at you to start.
This ain't gonna go well.
Oh, look at that! It's a miss.
Ooh.
And then after that, it now tries to claw at you, trying to grab you and grapple you. Not that you necessarily care that much. Wow. And then finally, with its last, but you can tell it's kind of just in rage, and it's also trying to fight against these vines that Nye
I
is
smell a crit.
wrapped up in,
Oh,
and you rather stoically stand there as if it was nothing. Probably could have let you rage to start, but since I don't know if that would have changed.
Did say I was good.
No, he was already
Yeah.
in rage, I thought.
Would that have changed
Or
any of those to a hit? No, it wouldn't have, anyways.
Oh, one of
Yeah, you could
But,
have your rage going.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna take 3. I figure. I figure we can wake him up, so I'm not gonna risk the -2 on attacks.
Well, you could at least start
Or
without a
non-lethal.
-2 and see how it goes, and then you could
Yeah.
finish up with a non-lethal if you wanted to try that.
What does Tanglefoot do? Does that give anything to me
Nah,
beneficially?
it's got it.
Yeah.
It's slowed it down. It would make the creature hard.
But it's not like it made it flat-footed
No.
or something. So let's start.
Don't forget to put. Yeah,
So-
there you go. There's your mauler.
1.
All right, that's a hit. So go ahead and apply that. Wow, that's a big hit. So you've moderately wounded. That's a huge, heavy hit. You smash into it, and LeBaron saying, but you could tell this is a tough sucker. And after that first hit, you're like, hey, that would have knocked out a dwarf, but
Oh no, you knock himself out?
he's not a dwarf. That brings back Ash. Now, Ash, you see it take that, pretty strongly, and you realize that, well, this bear's not going to be easy to take down, and it's pretty angry.
Um, I'm going to do a flurry shot anyway.
See if you can't
I
soften them
don't
up.
think. Yeah.
Just keep in mind, there's a angry looking druid over there, glaring at you. It's going to be crit, right?
Yeah. Now I'll roll 20.
Like you're,
Nope,
yeah, you're
not-
definitely concerned as she's looking angrily at you. That. All right. Oh, that's a miss.
It's okay. If you rolled a 20, I mean, I would have just attacked him instead of the bear.
Exactly.
And then I'll just take my last 2 shots anyway.
Might as well.
The way I'm rolling, I don't think I have to worry.
All right. So,
Rolled a 20.
so your heart wasn't in it, but you gave it your best. Balto now realizes, okay, maybe we need to soften this thing up. I've seen that orc hit things, and he's pretty fierce. But he doesn't want to do anything that's like too terribly damaging, so he will try to see if he can't frost it down some with a ray of frost. Maybe slow it down more so the creature really can't move much. But he also doesn't want to enrage it either, so he tries that and then he throws up a shield and says, oh yeah, that's good enough for me. That brings Char into the picture.
Okay. So. Are we? So we're hitting this thing. So are we killing this thing?
Only the last hit has to be non-lethal.
What if I set it on fire?
Oh, dear.
That seems...
I reread my incendiary aura. If I cast that spell, anytime I hit someone with a fire attack, they take 2d4 persistent fire
Yeah,
damage.
that sounds rather lethal.
I'll just produce flame real quick.
Alright, so you'll see. If you can't just singe it...
What is the difference between melee and ranged?
Yeah.
That's
If you want to run up there and, like, punch him with a flaming fist.
I miss.
What do you want to do with your last action? Yeah, everybody seems to be a little tentative about attacking this. I don't know if it's because Bardolph is beloved, or because Nye is glaring at everyone attacking it, or...
Or the good thing, the bear seemed a little tentative
Yeah.
too.
Like, somewhere deep inside it recognizes these people and doesn't really want to hurt. So you've got it tangled. You could keep trying to see if you can't critically tangle it. You know, throwing more tangle spells at it. The one you got on it is definitely, you know, kind of got it wrapped up for... Oh no, it's breaking free of it now. You'd have to reapply it if you wanted to slow it down more.
Sure, I'll reapply it.
Okay, so go ahead and try to tangle it once more. Unfortunately, they don't get it. Do you want to just keep Ripper here by your side? You
I
could
don't really want Ripper to go attack the bear, but...
you could tell it to go up and like try to chew on it a bit, but not bite it too hard. But that puts Ripper...
Why not? As long as Ripper doesn't end up dead.
Alright, so you use your other action to command Ripper to run up there and try to bite it, but don't hurt it. Is that what you want to try to do? Okay.
His name is Ripper, not Cuddler.
Go up there and just nibble on him a little bit. Alright, so go ahead and let Ripper... Set attack for Ripper, no attack proficiency. That's weird. Go ahead and make a jaw attack with Ripper.
Okay, so it's a +6.
Yeah. But you have...
And it's a double click, right?
Yeah, for weapons it is. That is a hit.
Oh, my goodness.
So go ahead and roll the
Ripper,
Ripper
just
damage.
don't kill it.
Ripper's trying 9 lethally to kill it. But tears into it a little bit. Now it's heavily wounded.
Wonderful.
Everyone loves Ripper.
Bardolph, I'm only going to say it's a 1 in 6 chance that it noticed that little bite, because the orc really did nail into him. But that was the last thing that hit him, so on a 1. Nope. Alright, so it's still got its full focus on the orc standing in front. So it snaps with its jaws. Oh.
Ooh.
Ow?
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
ow.
Oh,
You did notice that.
that.
The jaw. I forgot when I said that it can't kill the orc in one shot. I didn't take into account the possibility of a critical hit. So that does change things a bit.
Oh no.
You did say these happen simultaneously, so I get to go.
You get
too.
to go too. So it's tearing into you, but you're not going down without a fight as it's clawing away at you and it's kind of grabbed your body. And you could see it holding Hundar, who's swinging away heavily with his great axe.
Star says, "Ha ha ha! My
What?
plan to be the
Oh,
last,
you want a hero point?
last surviving member of the."
Oh, you don't.
I'd be here. It's almost.
Oh my goodness.
So
Does he hit himself with a critical miss?
it's got you grabbed, by the way, and it's kind of holding you. You know, Hundar, who looks not so great at the moment.
Brett, before we do anything else, I have to ask, and I'm sorry I have to do it. Is this the right creature we're supposed to be fighting?
Yes.
Because you screwed up last
And
time.
that wasn't my fault. It was just the way it
Listen,
was.
I'm just a DM. How am I supposed to know what enemies we have to fight?
All right, so now you guys are a little more concerned as the half orc took a vicious bite, kind of tore into his flesh, and no longer appears to be conscious.
Hmm.
What would you like to do, Ash?
All right. I'm gonna go and try to subdue him with a whole lot of arrows.
Okay,
Just subdue him.
there's a
That's
hit. It's a miss.
Wow,
Ooh.
that's some armor class.
Actually, we're not supposed to kill the bear.
I think that
2 hits. So you got a couple hits in. Oh, that's a nice one too.
Oh goodness.
All right, so Bardolph is definitely very wounded now and angry as he's wielding this orc around in its claws, tearing away at things. That brings up Balto. Okay, so he was trying to slow it down too, but he went like, "Oh no, I can see this. Oh no, the poor bear." Meanwhile, the orc is laying there, all torn to pieces.
Like a rag doll.
Like, he wants to ensure that he does some damage. He's going to try to arc a single target. He's just going to go after the Bardolph.
If you bounce it off the orb, it does additional damage.
Should work. Half damage. So he throws a little electric arc.
He doesn't
Oops!
have like a
Crap.
magic. He doesn't have like a magic missile.
He has magic weapon in pest form.
Magic weapon would have been good to give to shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a buff on anymore.
Well, he wasn't really thinking they were really gonna, have to really worry about this that much. So he's gonna shield himself because now he realizes he's pretty close to being the next in line. Char.
I'm gonna go move myself to moderate curse, which actually looks like it's primarily a bonus. I can't see anything beyond 30 feet. It's not just concealed now, and everything. Hold on. Everything inside that 30 feet is considered concealed to me. But if I use a fire spell, I automatically succeed the concealment, whatever.
You overcome the
I automatically
concealment.
pass it.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I am concealed to anyone around me.
Oh, so you're like shrouded in this flame,
I'm like
smoke. Yeah.
is like actually like starting to billow forth.
All right, so you guys could see him smoldering over there.
And then I'm gonna launch a fire ray at this guy.
This is your second.
19. I think that's exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly a hit.
That's what puts me up to. Actually, it doesn't. This doesn't take place until the end of my spell. So technically,
Now you're shrouded and all that. Yeah.
now I'm shrouded. Oh shit! I didn't do the damage. I should have done that first for use my focus points. Okay, there we go. Alright. Alright, and then I'll do the damage to him. 2d.
Thud.
Ah, burn!
Which coming out of the smoke over here, you hear some voice say "burn." All right, Nye, do you want to try to stabilize?
I have one action left, sir.
I thought
Excuse
the
me?
burn was your celebratory action
I cast guidance on Nye in case they're going to do something.
because she wants to stabilize somebody.
Yeah, that's what I do with my last action. Yep, that's what I do.
So Nye, the orc probably'd like to live. I know you'd also like to save Bardolph. Do you want to try to stabilize somebody here?
I'll stabilize the orc.
She sounds.
You don't have to.
Look at the bear
fine.
has made
Don't
more.
worry about me.
Look at the ringmaster Char now. It's like, the bear has earned more income for the circus than the orc has so far. So
Really, I mean, the bear is much more important.
I do believe in the potential earnings from the orc.
you're just gonna throw that out there. There's potential.
I like to think Hundar is just dreaming of like people doubting him.
Oh no, you're dreaming of your
So
father.
go ahead and in this case you could use your natural medicine again. So go ahead and make a nature check. All right, he's stabilized, so he's no longer slipping further into anything. He's just wounded now. All right, so I got a Bardolph here, D20. Seems to have stabilized. That's how it works, right? Gosh, it's been a while since I've had to worry about dying and all those rules. No longer you have to get 3 before you fail 3 and then die. So he's resting easily. Seems to be okay. And now you guys got to figure out what you're going to do next. As Bardolph's kind of snoring there with a big bear rumble. We'll kind of cut to the chase here, and I'll say that when Balto sits down and concentrates, tries, detect magic and read magic and stuff, he no longer detects the presence of enchantment. And suddenly, Bardolph seems to be a friend again. I'm going to take him off the tracker. So do you want to try, it's been a while because you guys had done all the other treatments, do you want to try to treat wounds to see if you can't heal up Hundar some?
Sure.
I also want to say, clearly we're dealing with some evil druid. Because this is all like nature-based stuff. Snakes, plants, bears. It's
Well, I
gotta be
had
like
no
it,
part
too.
in it.
I'm just saying. I only see one druid around here.
Don't blame this on me.
Well, we'll see how her heal spell goes on or her treat wounds goes on Hundar and whether or not she kills him.
Yeah. I thought I was supposed to lobotomize him. It's a medical procedure.
That's how you heal orcs.
Nature check.
Yes.
Would that make him kill his rage?
His rage is gone. So yeah, nah, you come along, you start treating him. He won't be able to be treated. Do you want to treat him for a full hour?
Sure.
Alright, so you we get to double that.
Oh,
Hey.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was orcs are weird, okay,
See, I clearly just don't want to help the orc.
They aren't very nature-like.
Yeah, he's like, look at him. I don't know. He's built differently. What am I supposed to do?
All you have to do is pretend that the arms are also legs, which kind of works for orcs if you look at them.
Okay, is that so?
They're 4 legs.
If she,
Hey, treat them like 4 legs.
but she could sit down and now you guys had an hour here to rest. I will say that looking in Bardolph's wagon, which you will have the time to do that, you could see that it's been torn around, but there's also another magic in there that you guys can zero in, and I'll make it easy because you guys will have a little bit of time while you guys are trying to rest up and recover. You eventually find a talisman in there. I think Balto's probably the only one with Arcana, though, right?
I do not believe I have it.
Nye, do you have Arcana trained? I don't think
I have a cultism. Is this a cult?
Where are you asking, Ash?
Arcana skills.
Yes.
That trained, yeah.
Yeah.
You could try. He has no idea.
I'll try.
You could see if you can't determine what it is. Yeah, you're not totally sure either. But you guys look at it. It's got to be some sort of talisman. It's just going to take a little bit of time to figure out exactly what it is. So, but you guys could pocket that. If it had anything to do with Bardolph's craziness, you're not sure until you really get to identify it. Other than that, you guys are resting up and maybe trying to recover. Looks like a little bit of a party going on over there by the campfire, and not much else if you guys want to sit here and rest and recoup. But I don't know if this is a good time as we're getting a little later in the night. I try to be respectful to Nye's. Make sure we keep it within 3 hours so it doesn't get too late. So, what do you guys think? Is this a good stopping point, or do you want to spend a little more time in here?
If we did anything about how much longer before another natural stopping point.
Oh my lord.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I wanted to try to save that there since I saw it.
But it has a pretty hat on.
Cute little bear.
See?
I would have burned down the
Fluffy.
Well, no wonder he's mad. His wheel is
So I'm going to let you guys debate on this image as to which one is each of you.
I'm the one in the front.
You're obviously the one, and the strong quote man has got to be Hundar right there in the back with the
exploding bomb that's got to be Ash when you ambush him.
I guess that could be Balto with a crossbow. Not pictured in here is Nye with her disdained looks at the party as their actions continually are an embarrassment to her. Either that or the exploding bomb guy is Clay over here plotting the next revenge he's going to take on the group because he was the alchemist. And yeah, you wish you had alchemist.
I'm already working on my next character, so
just in case you're wondering.
There he is. There he is.
So there's no real specific endpoint, right? You're going to try to get through the rest of this day. I can't give you any idea of how long that could take. I could sort of I could sort of assure you guys that it's not going to happen super quick.
Yeah, I would love to keep playing. I have about an hour, so if we stop now, I'll probably just clean the house up, which kind of needs it. But
I'm not going to be
I'd like to
wasting
keep
time.
playing.
Be content with playing longer.
Yeah, I'm okay with playing longer. It just I will have to leave about 9.
Yes.
For an hour.
We can go a little longer.
Okay, we get the okay.
Yeah.
So that will mean probably, since I think you guys are tapped out on normal heal spells, do you want to try treat wounds again? There's enough time has passed that you could treat wounds on everybody because there's an hour between, but you spent a full hour treating.
Oh, I would like to refocus during that then.
Yep. So you want to get your
It
focus.
lowers my curse down to minor, and I get one focus
All right.
point
So
back.
get your one focus point back, and return to minor.
I also have to make sure that I can still cast spells because when my curse hits a certain level, I cannot even I get focus points back. I can't cast anymore.
So what, you went to 3? Well, you must have went to 2 because you'd use 2.
I went to 2, which is moderate, I believe. So let me find it.
So now that you're,
let you guys do stuff.
I wonder, does that mean? Yeah, how would you go past 2 points? That's a good question.
Because at later levels, you can get the ability to withstand more.
Okay. Let's just,
And like if you're at extreme curse or super extreme, there's like several steps. If you refocus, you're dropped to minor no matter what. You don't just go one step down. But I need to make sure because I think early on like it doesn't allow me to push much past moderate if at all.
Right. Well, can any of us do the heal, or does it?
well, it'd be best if Nye did. She's the one that's.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Ash, you don't need you critically failing.
Yeah,
You can
so
do damage with the treat wounds.
if I cast from moderate, so it's like I'm moderate when I cast the spell, I go to the next level and I'm overwhelmed. If I get overwhelmed, I can no longer cast any focus spells, even if I regain focus points, until I've rested.
But you're down to minor, and you have one focus.
Yeah,
point.
and I so I'm
So you'll just be vacillating between minor and moderate at this stage, at first level.
Yeah, I only have 2 points, so I literally couldn't even without refocusing.
I wonder if you
get
could have.
points in that buff.
I wonder if you could take feats that give you, because I know you can go up to 3 focus points eventually.
Yeah, I know level 2 feats allow me to do that. I don't know. I think level 1 are just like widen spell and
Yeah.
reach spell and glean more. Yeah, no way to get.
That third one
Far
that
as
could
I
have
can
tipped you
tell.
over the edge at first, so you can't implode at
Yeah.
first level. All right, so you guys want to let Nye try to treat some more wounds, so you guys can continue your investigations tonight.
Sure.
All right, so that's a solid one. Obviously, Hundar seems the most. Do you want to do a full hour on him? Yeah, I probably should,
Sure.
because without
Yeah,
him being mostly healthy,
she's pretty damaged.
unless we
Can I guidance before that, or does it matter?
because she's doing a 10-minute thing. It's really sort of okay. So if you want to go full hour on him, he'll be full health, and then it's a question of whether.
Yeah,
or not.
I'll do a full hour.
So you guys spend another hour. It's definitely starting to get late. It's darkness is kind of closing in. There's a bit of a rowdy party going over by the fire. There seems to be much more joy happening over at the campfire now than before.
Real quick, how much would a bear pelt be worth?
Well, she also treated the bear.
I know. Thunder.
So you'll have to convince the bear. No, yeah.
Not very much.
Not
It's fine. I was
very
just
much,
thinking.
yeah.
Especially because it's all seared.
Seared, sliced, battered. But the hat, on the other hand, if you can keep the hat attached to it, it probably adds value to it. So you guys feel pretty good about where you're at, but there's a question of now what. Although you can hear some people to the south of you kind of shout about something about snakes, by the way.
Okay. Maybe go investigate those snakes.
Is that what you guys like to do?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get anywhere talking to people, right?
Well, you can go back to where the big party is. There's a lot of people over there if you want to do that, or you can go investigate.
Could I
But initially, everybody was pretty somber. Nobody was really in much of a talkative mood, and everybody's like, "It's really
can
terrible." Oh,
can I would like to roll a diplomacy to see if I can talk to anyone who might know anyone that had a grudge against this guy whose name is on the edge of my
Myron?
thoughts. Because Myron, yes, and Myron. Like it's like I knew I made up a wordplay for it. Okay. Can I do that?
yeah. If you want to swing by there, look, I'll take you guys down towards it, where somebody's shouting about snakes. That kind of puts you in the area.
Oh, someone's talking about snakes.
Did you miss that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I missed
Yeah,
that.
somebody's like,
So are
"We
we
got
fighting
problem with snakes." You hear that shout to the south.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
Yeah, still with the snakes.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking we want to deal with the snake.
I thought you asked, do you want to keep looking around for the snakes, like
No, no.
looking around for like information on them, and I was like, no, I don't really care about.
I don't care about snakes. There's way too many of these snakes on this circus. So you get down there and you can see there's some people that were trying to collect wood for the fire. And suddenly they're shouting and they're pointing down to the trees to the south of you. Go ahead and roll some perception checks for initiative.
You're doing it.
Oh my goodness, I rolled terribly.
Oh, pretty okay.
Two.
Ash.
And a 5. Who are we missing? Everybody roll their initiatives?
Yeah.
All right, Ash, you get down there and you can see it. They're down in there. They're hard to see, but somebody's pointing. And you see, I know it says medium animal, but not so medium as you might think. Or at least,
It's a medium
Yeah.
snake, animal snake, you fucking huge.
right. So it's, you're thinking, yeah, that's pretty big for a snake.
I like that tiny medium.
It comes in 2 flavors. You get to figure out pretty quickly which flavor is which.
Tiny.
But there is a
Vampire
smaller
snake.
version of one over there. That's that one's only like maybe 3.5 feet long. The other one, yeah, it's big. Let's just put it that way.
All right. I'll hunt prey it and then do flurry.
So, real quick side question: is there a limit to how many times a day you can refocus?
Not that I know of. Nope. Oh, that's
Let
arrows are
Two
flying all over the
strikes.
place.
one attack left.
So since we took an hour, could I have refocused twice?
Yeah.
It seems.
Really?
You'd have to read up on refocus. Actually, I actually put it in one of my dragon drops on the rules on refocus. To be honest, I just don't remember it. You can look into that if you want to. If you got an extra one, obviously it could come in handy.
So I can't remove my minor curse to nothing.
Oh, so that's
Even
how
with the
you could be
refocus.
even at first level. If you refocused
So yeah,
enough.
I'm pretty. Yeah.
All right, so Hundar and snakes seem to be destined.
Why am I in front, Fred?
I don't know. It's so strange how that worked out.
What did I do?
Yeah.
Slithers up here and it coils itself up.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh, it doesn't even have to go that close. Comes to here, coils, and then strikes out from a range and manages to reach Hundar, who's not actually raged, so this might be an advantage right now.
Jeez, how long is this?
It's a big snake. Oh, never mind. Of course, it's going to critical Hundar, because that's what I do to Hundar.
Oh my goodness, I just killed him.
Hundar, what are you doing? She's healing you, and there you are.
Oh my goodness.
More like Hundar Hill Slayer.
And of course, he fails his saving throw against
Yeah.
poisons because poisons are always effective.
Again,
Should I have made another melee, dude? Yeah, there it
Oh,
is.
6 points of damage. Alright, so you're critically wounded by that snake bite, but it can't do anything more to you.
Schmitty, should I retool this person to be in melee with you so you aren't the only one getting hit all the time? Should I do that?
It wouldn't matter. To be honest here, it wouldn't matter because he'd still put me up in front. Because that's what always he does. Like, I could be a mage and he'd still put me in
Well,
front.
look, no, you'd be in the back, but then some half-orc or orc would come along and throw you up to the snakes, and you'd land in the middle of them, and they would all strike you.
I'm glad we see eye to eye.
Alright, Char. Big snake just bit the crap out of the orc up front, who was looking healthy a little while ago, and now it's kind of, well, he's kind of green. Get it?
out of curiosity, did it jump back or did it just snap and attack
snapped.
from range?
And, came back, so it struck and is still down
Okay.
there.
So, is it the only one we see? I find it hard to believe this is the only snake. They were yelling snakes.
There's
right?
2 there.
There's a tinier one we don't see well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did we check the well?
I guess you're just not in an angle that can see it. Balto can see it, and I think Hundar can see it.
Oh, remember, I have everything concealed past 30 feet, or
So yeah, it would be
harder
hard for you to see. Matter of fact, it is past 30 feet anyway, so yeah. So what does Char want to do?
Okay, so I'm going to cast Incendiary Aura. So does Conceal work against melee attacks?
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to cast Incendiary Aura, and I'm going to move up here next to...
Doesn't it do fire to anybody next to you? Or just creatures you hit?
No, literally anyone that takes fire damage
Okay.
while they're inside my aura takes... I'm actually going to move up one more. Takes...
And your aura's 10 feet?
It takes 2d4 additional
persistent damage.
fire
Okay, so
damage.
you got that big snake there.
Yeah. Now, if I cast one more spell, I have critical, and then I start doing, I think, 4d8 to everyone within 15 feet of me every turn, and I take 1d6 of them. That might be fun.
Let's move right Hundar and flame it up.
Yeah, flame on. All right, and that's my turn.
Hopefully
I'm not dead, but I am concealed. Which
That
I
was
don't
3
have an
actions,
effect, but
right?
I can find it. Yeah, 3 actions. There's 2 actions for that one spell. Or yeah, what focus? I'm trying to look up conditions. Concealed. I'm gonna put that on myself. There, I'm concealed now.
This one does try to slither up to your little smoky figure. We'll see if this concealed works, if it actually can hit you for starters.
Like a 20% chance they can't,
This
right?
chance DC 5. Why did that not?
But it missed me
it's
because
a
I
miss
have
already,
higher
yeah.
AC than that.
So it was a miss. So it snaps at you once, and then it's going to try to fang you again.
Does it have to do a conceal for each
Yep.
attack?
But since it
Oh,
didn't
nice.
hit.
Critical miss.
Nice. So you can see that these snakes don't look nice. They're again kind of like those ones that came in before under suspicious circumstances, and now you got a couple more.
Can I do electric arc
Yes,
on
you
them?
can.
Awesome. Do I have them selected?
Do you? You do now.
No, I do.
You do now.
Okay, electric arc.
One of them saved actually. Plus 11. Fast little creatures, but go ahead and apply the damage now.
Okay.
See, when I roll damage to you guys, it's always max, so you might
Yeah.
want to try that sometime. It seems to be effective, I'm just saying. Hundar. At the end of this turn, you get to see whether or not poisons are resistible.
Uh-huh. Sure. I'm assuming these things have that same ability where I could scurry away.
Well, you
Right.
haven't seen a giant one like the one you just saw. The other one, the smaller one,
I'm just going to assume it does. But let's say I sudden charge and I still have movement.
I said
left.
I'd probably allow you to continue, especially if your first.
Probably.
Yeah, I said especially if your first action would have gotten you there, I'd let you take your second move to chase it down.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rage and sudden charge the big
All
one.
right. So you're just going to move southwest of yourself at the moment, right? Oh, you're going to run. No, but it does have opportunity attacks. No, I'm kidding.
Scurry away.
And then its opportunity attack kills you because there's a bonus on it. It does not, actually. This one does not scurry away.
So I'm going to miss on my attack anyway. So.
Char also yelled at everyone to get back.
But you got 3 temporary hit points. Go ahead and make a fortitude save. How can you keep failing these things? Alright,
You're manipulating my rolls, Brett.
so you take...
Does he have to?
Oh my god, I keep rolling max too. You lose all of your temp. You take 3 extra damage. And you are now drained 1, which at first level is only 1 permanent. You have 2 hit points left. You're drained 1. Actually survive it. Because it's your level times the drain number. So it could have been, again, could have been worse. But you actually are 1 maximum hit points less than normal, as the poison is just raging through your system. The problem is you know at worst you could take stage 1 next time unless you critically succeed a fortitude save.
Yep.
And that'll kill you regardless.
Yep.
Just in case you were wondering.
Yep, I know. Trust me, I know the rules for poison.
You know how poisons
You
work?
poisoned me twice in 2 sessions. I've successfully poisoned 3 things in an entire level 6 campaign. Yeah.
Shreddy, you were telling me poisoning stuff is hard. Have you tried poisoning orc barbarians? Which honestly probably should be pretty hard to poison.
You would
Did you-
think, right?
Were you able to use your superstition against poison, or is it just magic?
No, that's magic.
Alright, he's going to try to electric arc these suckers. And that's a reflex. Wish these would roll without...
That's plus 11.
Randolph Scott. Does kill 1, though.
Oh, I guess I'm not going to turn into a torrent of fire. But maybe.
Maybe. There's always a chance. And he'll pop his shield. Ash. You still
All
have
right,
your hunted
we'll
target.
just.
You
What?
still have your hunted target, yes.
Yep. All right. So, is it supposed to show that or no?
It does
Well,
show it. I see the little symbol on it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just.
Why, my goodness, that's a hit. Alright, you need to roll that crit
Oh,
now. Because you don't want to override that. And it may go away if it scrolls off and I'll be like, I don't remember a crit.
I think that's going to kill it. So.
No.
Oh,
Do you want to roll the other damage just to see?
Yep.
Not quite.
And then 2 more shots. Yeah.
Hey, you get 4 attacks level 1. That's crazy.
It's just a hunted prey.
I guess.
Yeah. Not quite.
Oh,
That brings up the Viper, who's honestly, while it's definitely angry, I don't think it's interested in, after the one died and being all battered, to doing anything else. You got any opportunity attack on Hundar? I don't think so, do you?
Nope.
You guys see it kind of slither away. I will let you guys... Do you want to pursue it on Hundar despite... Well, you probably find out if the poison's going to kill you.
Oh no, I'm gonna be knocked out.
Yeah.
Wait, I can pursue it and then I'll be knocked out at the end of the turn. Yeah.
That's great.
Kill
That's
it.
great. That way you'll be face level with the snake. It'll be great.
Char, it's going to go out of your visual range, but other people will be
Yeah,
able to.
I'm not going to be able to. Chase
But
it.
I will let Ash. I will let Hundar first take his pop and see if he collapses after it. So go ahead.
I'll get 2 pops. I'll get
Yeah,
2
you'll
pops.
charge, and then you'll still have an action. So go ahead and see if you can finish before it gets away.
Eh.
Wow.
Oh,
And Ash, you'll be able to take 1 flurry to see if you can't catch him too. Otherwise, I'm going to say it gets
Okay.
into the brush, and you're just not going to have a chance. Yay! All right, that'll kill it for certain. Although you tried your best. I will give you credit there. You're the only one that can
I
take
tried really
D6,
hard.
D6, D10 on a creature with 4 hit points. And,
Could I? If I moved once, would it be within 30 feet of me?
It's
all right, you do make a save, but you still take D6.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Now I've got to heal Hundar again.
I have to ask, how far did the snake manage to move in 3 moves?
It would have been good. You wouldn't think Snake would move that fast, right? 60
Yeah.
feet.
I mean, it's
60
dead, right?
feet, yeah.
Okay. I think I would have been 10 feet outside because I wasn't next to it. Okay.
You could have gone running out there. All right, so yeah, Hundar, thud.
the better question is, do we have any heal?
She's going to have to
spells
spend
left?
10 minutes on him. But the first thing I think she's got to... Well, he's going to thud. You can try to... I think with that, you could try to treat... there's treat disease, treat poison. So the first thing you got to do is try to treat poison. See if you can help him. Because he's still taking poison damage. He's still at stage 1. Give him a bonus. So
But do I still save?
you'll have a saving throw, yeah. So
That's what I mean. Like you could try and get me to, because how long does treat poison take?
it's only 1 action, but it doesn't give
okay.
it gives you a bonus on your saving throws. So she can give that. So go ahead and just start with a quick natural medicine. And yes.
Me?
And see if you can
Okay.
help him resist the poisons that are raging through his system. Oh man.
Oh, my
okay, so she
goodness.
made it worse.
I'm sorry, Hundar. You're just such a problem.
All right, so
Are you such a problem, Hundar?
it's now a DC 19 Fortitude save you're trying to make.
Oh my god, I thought he had it.
Critical fail. That's a critical fail.
No, DC 19? Yeah, it is. Is he dead, Hundar?
Now he
What are you
can
gonna
only
play
go to
next? Are you gonna
he
play
can only
Dual
go to
Warrior?
stage 2, but now he's dying 2. And
Who's working on him? I cast guidance.
all right, so you want to try to guide her as she tries to treat his poison this time around?
Yeah.
All right,
Probably.
Plus
all right.
one.
So go ahead and try another nature check. This is fairly incredible.
Okay.
Go ahead and try to make your saving throw. She isn't trying to kill you anymore. Oh,
Hey!
well, you pulled out of it. All right, whew, that wasn't hard. You're still at 0 hit points, so I guess we can't say that. And you're still drained. So you got that going for you.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Orcs are a problem.
So, do you guys want to sit here and watch her try to treat wounds, see if she can't heal him up before he actually really does die?
Yeah, treat. How many times can he be treated wounds in a day?
Apparently, forever in this case. Well, she could. If she critically fails one, she could kill him, and that would solve that.
Well, I'm gonna refocus during
Okay.
this. Get back down to
Normal and
minor first. Yeah.
so go ahead and try treating wounds, which is another nature check. Because the day's really getting late.
Yeah.
Here I stealth buff thinking we were going to fight like 10 snakes.
That
Hey.
worked. Do you want to spend a full hour and double that so he has a little more health?
Yeah.
Probably no reason not to, right?
Yeah.
All right, so after an hour, you guys are like that, but you guys are getting really tired. Do you want to get over to the campfire area and try to rest a little bit? Maybe there's even a healer in the camp.
I think we probably should.
Before someone says, "Oh no," and you guys be like, "Yeah, good luck with that."
All right, that's the B group now.
You'll get the oh, there's more snakes over here to be like, yeah, you know what? I got an idea what you could do with your snakes.
Yeah, I think we should heal up because I think we're in a mess.
So head.
Unless differently.
What does anybody else think? No other comments from the peanut gallery?
No, I think we should absolutely rest. Like,
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
what yeah, like I said that first. That's why. Yeah, no, we should definitely like go sit with the revelry. Do we need to? Like, Hunter's okay. You're okay. I slapped him on the shoulder. You're fine.
Well, why are we worried? Come on.
Does Hunter get like permanent poison damage on his fingernails now because of how much he's been poisoned?
Yeah, is this like now, like his system is? You're saying maybe his system is weakened instead of strengthened by constant exposure?
Yeah.
It was possible, but
I hope it doesn't turn green. Oh wait, he already did.
exactly. That's what I said last time. He looks a little green.
Are you insulting orcs?
You racist. So you guys come back, and you can see the sounds of pipes and fiddles and horns echoing across the camp from the meeting fire, where the members of the Circus of Wayward Wonders have been waiting for a proclamation that it's safe for them to return to their wagons. But now everyone has formed two concentric rings with the musicians on the inside and everyone else dancing on the outside. Their energetic prancing seems incongruous with the wariness on their faces. And then you see, as he comes circling around, the professor there. "Help us!" he pants, sweat pouring down his frail face as his limbs jerk in time to the lively jig.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Undar, what did you do?
It was me the entire time that I attacked the party.
Yeah. That doesn't scare me. It should, because I think you can one shot like that.
I'm not actually. I wouldn't think that is a think thing. I think that's a fairly certainty that he could do it if he put himself to it.
I would like to use read or. Can I use read or on him or just objects? Target object. It says target object.
What?
What does that mean? Item is magical.
So,
okay.
like the item you guys found, you couldn't figure out. You could at least read the aura on it. Wouldn't identify it, but you could tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, but I couldn't like identify what's on this. How do we save them? I don't have dispel magic.
I don't know. You want to go look and see what's going on?
Should we just leave? Should we just leave?
Where are the instruments? Where are the instruments? Where's the music
From the
coming?
inside, and you can't quite see the inside of it. You'd have to work your way through. This means either trying to plow your way through with athletics. You could try to use finesse, kind of, work your way through with acrobatics. You could do a performance or society check to kind of join the dance until you get to the middle. That's actually looks like the easiest way to do it, but maybe not the one you guys.
Could I throw a fireball at it? I have produced flames.
Can I go into an aura and just set everybody on fire until I reach the middle? So those really are your options. You could try to just plow your way, push your way through people. You could try to act kind of athletic, well, not athletically, acrobatically work your way in.
I danced through.
Well, that is a good dance.
I'm gonna try to use acrobat.
Say Char, we'll get you up here.
I'm gonna rage and sudden charge all the way in.
Okay, acrobatically you go. Hundar. I'm so angry right now. This song, this little jig's called The Poisoner's Prance.
No. I bet that's not related to what we've been dealing with. It doesn't sound
It doesn't
familiar.
sound like anything that you guys would recognize. Oh, I guess Balto could try to. This is terrible. He's going to try to join the dance. Oh, he came.
Oh, this is gonna
He came so close, but now he's in the circle. Nye, what did you try to do anything? Or are you going to wait on the outside and see what happens?
I'll just wait on the
All right,
outside.
so you hear something's going on there. For you guys on the inside, you make your way through and you see just cute little things in the middle.
Oh dear.
Nothing to be concerned with. And they're playing some music for everybody. Little fey creatures. And as you approach, they're like, "Hi, you here for the fun?"
I cast Incendiary Aura.
Go ahead and roll initiative.
There we go. Should have cast it before I ran in. That would have been smart. Actually, let's do it.
Oh yeah, Balto didn't make it in, right? He's stuck in the conga line. To everybody on the inside who's trying to get in there. Yep. So Handar, you get there, and there's a couple of cute little fairies playing their music, and everybody seems to be dancing to it. And they just asked you if
There's something I can target.
what?
Is there something I can target?
No.
These tiny little fae there. And one was like, "Oh, look at the big guy. Who would have thought he could dance, Teresia?" And the other one's like, "Well, I don't know, Canano.
No,
I believe orcs are lighter on their feet than you'd expect. He must dance with a battle axe, or a great axe, because look, he's holding it very strongly at the moment."
Oh my goodness.
What does Hundar want to do?
Hundar's had a hell of it.
Canano,
He's been poisoned. He's been knocked
Hunter is
out
still
twice.
damaged. Nothing's going well for him.
Hit him, Hundar!
What damage? How much
100%.
damage
Look at
am I
that.
going to take if I stand in the fire?
I should have.
it really
Yeah,
depends
I
on if Char goes into his aura, because then anybody taking fire damage is going to start exploding and burning.
Yeah, so I have a plan.
No. Oh man. Okay. Good luck with that. Yeah. So Hundar, you hear Char say, "I have a plan."
This is gonna go well.
I have a plan too, and I'm gonna.
He steps into the fire.
I said I was gonna rage beforehand.
Yes, you raged and pushed your way through, so you have your rage going. Yes.
Go after this guy. Probably a bad idea. He's threatened by Ash, right? So he's flat-footed.
Yeah. Well, it depends on if Ash
threatened.
is. Are you threatening Ash?
I mean, sure, I'll be
No,
holding
this is
my
Ash,
right-
not
my
Char.
baton.
The other.
Oh, the other side. Okay, sorry, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
Yes.
name is Fire-based, and so is his. It makes me confused.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
The... Can I
Oh,
give
there
him
we
my
go.
Yeah!
There we go.
He is so angry about today. Just annihilates this. You see little Teresa go, "Canano!" But as your turn ends, a little bit of flames do flicker up from there and cause some damage to you. 2 points. You have one more action, actually. Was that?
No, I moved
Oh, yeah, that's right.
one. I moved into
But
the
you're
fire.
you're bolstered by your rage, and you don't even feel the fire on you right now. That was super mean. Um, she flitters away, flying above, and sends this kind of terrible, piercing, screeching sound your direction. Of course, I'm going to critically hit you. Just
It's okay if you pass out in the fire. It's better.
cauterize your wounds. Oh, look at that. Was finally not like maximum all over the place. All right, so you're okay. And seeing you take that, she's a little bit angry about this. And she says, "Well, in that case, you could dance with the rest of them." And she starts to play her fiddle in your direction. And you have to make a DC 18 will save.
Is this an action? A single action?
Hers is a single action, yeah. It's a
Sure. Will
Yeah.
save?
18. Close. But you feel kind of the desire to start dancing. But you aren't forced into the dance yet. Char.
Okay, so is she within 30 feet of me, or do I need to move
Let's see.
towards her?
She is
30
exactly
exactly.
30, yes.
So I'd be able to see her because it's beyond
Yeah.
30 feet, right?
So she's barely
Okay,
at
so
the edge of your vision.
First, I'm going
Oops,
to shoot her a look to intimidate her.
You dirty little pixie.
Skills, intimidation. Could she beat a 13? Is that her
I'm
will?
pretty sure her will's going to be more than 3. It's 9, yeah.
Then I cock my hand out and I do like a shotgun like load on my forearm with my other hand, and I'm gonna shoot a fire.
All right.
I'm gonna miss, but I also increased to moderate again, and that's my entire turn.
Ash.
Will hunter mark your hunter prey, and then I will flurry.
Got probably 3 shots going on here. That's a hit. That's a miss. That's a miss. But Teresa at least knows you're there. And you can track her if you need
Yep.
to.
Yep.
Balto. Oh, he's stuck in the Congo line. What's going on? But people start to actually relax a little bit and stop. They're dancing, which then allows Balto to like, hey, come up here, and it's like, oh, what's going on? Are we? Why is there a dead bug in the big giant dead bug in the flames, and why is Hundar standing there too? But I guess he could catch what's going on, sees that thing over there cursing at you guys, a little fey voice, and decides, all right, well, maybe I will frost her, see if I can knock her out of the sky, freeze up her wings, he's thinking. Nope. So now people stop dancing. You can see a little pixie up there who's really mad that her friend has been blasted. Everybody else is now collapsing on the ground around the fire. They're just exhausted. And when they all fall down, you can see little Tricia, the fey creature, flying away. You can smell what smells like burnt bug, though, coming from the fire.
Oh, poor Buck. Could I do like Ray of Frost on the little
Yeah, you
thing?
can.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Do I have her selected? Okay.
You try to fray her, slow her down, and it does hit her. It's not enough to
Yay.
critical her, though, but at least you got a little bit of a chill going on. She's like, oh, you guys are just big meanies. We were just trying to have a little bit of a dance party. What do you want to do with your last action? You could have Ripper run and try to leap at her. Or,
Yes.
okay, I'll just send him up there then. So with your last action, you tell Ripper, fetch. Go ahead.
Do I need to use her jaws?
Yeah, go ahead and have Ripper use his jaws against her. And they snap around her little
Good
body.
boy.
Oh, yeah. I think she might be hit.
Ooh. Big bite out of her. Now she's very concerned.
Now Ripper, drag her back to me.
Hundar. Are you charging this thing?
I think you
Would,
should.
but I'm magically whatever.
Oh, yeah, your speed is minus 10 and you're flat-footed.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Like, oh, that doesn't matter.
Like, no. I have enough movement and enough anger. I could lose a foot. You just tell me I could drag myself along another 30 feet. I'm good. Wow.
Do you have another attack?
that is unique to you in some cases. Oh, there we go. He's got to make this. He's got to make this interesting. Can't just make this look easy.
On the first hit when you can do it on the second.
It's more dramatic, and everybody's applauding again. You know, this is going to be the greatest circus ever. Look at these guys. They make it look like they're trying to miss these things. That must have been part of the show. And there's more applause.
Whereas people never get the grip.
But boy, that was tiring. Next time, whatever you have those things do for enchantment, just ease up on the dancing. It was really hard to keep up with that. I will say, though, that Balto can detect some magic coming off of these guys.
Well,
Hundar doesn't care. He's going to go to bed.
there's a nice warm bed here.
Yeah. Hey, come lay in here. I can even warm it up for you a little bit more.
They call it a bed of coal.
Yeah, you definitely want to get rid of that
Yeah, no.
drain, probably, too. A full night's rest would do it.
Take care of it tomorrow. Hundar's getting some sleep.
Yeah, I'll do a brief look over of the bodies to see if there's anything interesting.
Make
Yeah.
some perception checks for anybody who wants to look, see if they can figure out what might be.
Yeah, no.
Man, like-
Yeah, I got smoke in my eyes.
Dead bugs. I'm
literally
still
just
shrouded
smoking.
by.
Performance check?
Oh yeah, you were performing for that. Ta-da! Look at Char's trying to lead in, get the people to
Oh.
believe that this is really part of the show, and that, gentlemen, is the show for tonight. Glad you.
Oh no! See, I did the wrong one. I could do the right one now. That's how it works.
You find a crystal that looks like a type of talisman too. I guess we could have Balto spend some time examining it and see if he can't figure out what it is. He probably could do it with
Alright,
enough
cool.
time. You guys are gonna have some time tonight. Oh yeah, so he knows this one's known as a potency crystal. So for one, I think it's one full round on the rest of the turn. So and it's a free thing. So actually, you could even up to 3 attacks or more, as if the weapon had striking and magic. Probably Hundar would be the best to hand that over to.
I'm just going to miss anyway. It wouldn't matter.
So I will throw it on the party sheet, though, so you guys have that. And I'm going to say he's going to have enough time tonight to research and look. The other one ends up actually being an owlbear claw, which allows you to do the critical weapon a specialization effect if you also attach it to a weapon.
How many rounds?
I think it's just on one hit. So if you know you do a crit, you can make the critical specialization effect kick in using the owlbear claw.
And then it's used once and
Yeah.
it's done. So I am I have a real question. My incendiary aura says you surround yourself with a combustible aura. Each time a creature within the emanation takes fire damage, it catches on fire, taking 2d4 persistent fire
Yes.
damage. So anyone can do fire damage
Yes.
to it. But if they're taking 2d4 persistent fire damage and they're still next to me, wouldn't they then take another 2d4
It
fire
doesn't
damage?
stack like that with persistent.
Are you
I am
sure?
positive.
It says whenever they take fire damage. It does not have an
Yeah,
addendum.
but
It
that's the
doesn't
way
have a little
persistent
asterisk.
damage works.
It can't trigger ability.
No, persistent damage can trigger abilities, but you don't you can't take 2d4 persistent damage and therefore take 4d4 persistent damage.
Oh wait, so you can't stack
you
persistent
can't stack
damage?
persistent damage, no.
But it
Stack-
would.
You could stack different
Yeah,
types.
so if you could do like fire and acid persistent, they could be burning and dissolving at the same time. But you can't have them.
That seems like some bullshit.
Yeah, you're right.
I should be able to get if I'm fighting a monster and dodging, it should slowly be burning at a more rapid
Yeah.
rate.
I want to be able to do like 12d4 damage to a dragon. All I have to do is get it to like chuckle at me and say, "Well, you couldn't even take 1 point of fire damage from me and prove you're tough, could you?"
Suspicious. Also, this is a stealth buff that lasts a minute, but I don't see any word on it that says sustain. Is this considered a sustain
Nope.
spell?
You're just going
or-
to stay with you for 1 full minute.
So it's not a
Yes, you don't
sustain
have to use an
spell?
action to sustain it.
Okay, cool. That means that when I lose control, I keep it.
Yes. It just stays there.
Yeah.
And because it's not sustained too, if you fall unconscious, you're still smoldering with that aura.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least my explosion doesn't work while I'm
Okay,
unconscious.
that's good. Well, that is probably a good stopping point. Do you want to, at least before we go, before you get settled down for the night, do you want Nye to take one more treat wounds check on Hundar to see if you can't figure out how it works?
Guidance.
She blinded me with
I get enough
guidance.
I get half my hit points. I get half my hit points back, right?
It's your level times your constitution bonus? Minimum of 1 or
No,
something?
that's the short rest.
There's no such thing as a short
do
rest.
roll a night. Like a 10-minute rest, I
No.
thought. I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, in this one, it's like your level plus your con, or it's like your con times your level or something like that. It's not a lot. It's Pathfinder stuff, so you don't get your health back. I remember seeing in the other one where people got like 1 hit point back overnight because they didn't have much con. It still wouldn't hurt for her to do it. It's free anyway, so
Hit points equal to their Constitution modifier multiplied by
Yeah.
their level.
so you're getting 2 hit points back a night at this stage. So clearly, when you have 17 wounds, you'd like to do a little better than that. But now you can throw down a nature check. Unless she's
9.
unless she's not
No.
here.
I know.
Which is just enough. She's figuring you out slowly. Oh, you very slow. Sheesh. Luckily, in the morning, you'll be able to cast some.
I just don't like
I know,
orcs.
she just doesn't figure. Orcs have been a problem with our woodlands for so long. But we will get a full night's rest. That'll reset Char's, all Char's condition stuff, right? John?
What was that? I'm sorry.
All of Char's conditions will be reset with a full night's rest, right?
Oh yeah, especially because I'm refocusing down. So yeah, I should be good.
And-
I was reading general skills for level 2.
Seeing, as you guys get closer to being able to level. That might come in handy, huh? We'll pick up the morning routine and maybe more treat wounds, heal spells, or whatever when we pick it up next time. But that was fun. I don't know why Hundar is a punching bag and that poisons are going to work on him with his good fortitude saves, but it appears as though this is the thing in this campaign now.
Now, if he would have had poisoned with